Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are finally here on land, here in Cape Town, South Africa, for the Carry First Africa Cup Southern Africa Regional Finals. 3 teams standing, only 2 spots for them to be able to make it to the Grand Finals in Nigeria later this year. $30,000 all on the line, and these players on stage right now competing for that glory potentially. But before we get into anything, allow me to introduce myself. I'm going to be your host for today. My name is Scar, and flanked by my side, the oh so amazing Captain Trout. Trout, how are we feeling? It's Championship Sunday, and we're going to be crowning a champion for the Southern Africa Regional Finals.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you, it's been a long time since I've been behind the mic, especially not with Scara. So for anyone who's wondering, there is a pet name that we go by, and we are known as Scrout. So burn that into your memory now. The return of Scrout is real, and we here. It was first Apex, now it's COD-M, and we have an absolute banger for our first game. It's going to be ASG versus Cyclone. Thoughts, predictions? You got to sneak peek and actually got to speak to them beforehand, but I want to know, I'll pick your brain a little bit.
I'm honestly so excited for this because coming into this, there's kind of a few storylines coming through. Cyclone last year were the team that ultimately did go on over to Nigeria to be able to compete. But
under a different name.
Under a different name. But now this time around, one of the players that was on Cyclone now is on the other side of the stage. They're going to be competing with ASG. But just taking a look, this is going to be our schedule so far for the finals. And this is the roadmap of what we'll be seeing leading up to our grand finals that will be taking place in Nigeria later on. But for now, we're here with the Southern Africa Regional Finals. The 2 teams on stage competing. This is going to be our upper bracket final. It's going to be Cyclone Esports taking on ASG, which is what I feel is going to be a closely contested matchup. First and second seed, these guys have made their way through, and only one more step to that grand final for either one of these teams. And whoever loses, there is a second chance, but they'll be dropping down to be meeting Spaza Gaming, who are awaiting in the lower bracket final.
100%. And just for anyone who likes numbers, both of these teams have yet to drop a map coming into this grand or winners bracket final, which means first map to go down either way is going to be a stat line. So it's been clean sweeps coming into it, and now we have something a little bit different where the 2 Titans shall clash. But having said that, it is all
Coming onto the stage, when it comes to LAN, you and I know very well that it's a whole different ball game. That online, it's all good and fun, but here on LAN, where you're face to face with your opponent on the other end of the stage, stakes can be a whole lot more different.
100%. I mean, in the same breath, stakes are different, but you've got your teammates right next to you, right? It's so easy to get a fist bump going. Your morale is so much higher. But in the same breath, like you were mentioning, new people, it's a different ball game. You got to think about all the pressure. You got to think about the crowd. You got to think about the fact that maybe your opposition has something to say to you between maps.
Most definitely, and that also is very important. I actually like that you mentioned that, because when it comes to now being on LAN, your mental fortitude is very much tested, because it's going to come down to how well can you manage the banter, how well can you manage your opponent standing up, being in your face, calling at you while you're playing the game. So it's so important when you're on LAN to try and maintain composure, maintain, your temperament. Don't really get sucked into, maybe getting into the head of your opponents and kind of just losing your game. But what I actually want to take note of is looking at this right now, the ASG team actually have a player, Storm, who's from Kenya.
100%. And of course, we have Toxic, who was a previous Cyclone player. So there are 2 beautiful storylines coming out to play here. And I think both of these teams, as we had the pleasure of greeting a couple of these players before they got onto the stage, there's certainly enough bad blood there to keep an ocean full for a while. So there are no kind words to be said as of right now. So I think both of these teams are, and they're looking their best, and they want to be their best going into Nigeria, of course. But having said that, they had a couple of words to say. Speaking to the man on my left here, let's have a listen in
folks,
with
we're
Cyclone.
here getting ready for the Carry First Africa Cup Southern Africa Grand Finals here, regional, and I'm here with 2 players from Cyclone Esports. Guys, how are you feeling? Starting on your side.
Obviously feeling great.
Yeah, I'm feeling good too. Excited for tomorrow.
You guys are the first seed coming into this tournament. You guys are looking good. It's been looking fantastic in the upper bracket. What are you expecting coming from the opponents that might maybe be a bit worrisome, or are you guys confident that anything that they throw at you, you're prepared for?
Honestly, like we are expecting them to put up a really good fight, but I think that we're going into this with maximum confidence. Like we are really, really confident in our abilities, and we think we'll do really well.
This time around, how are we feeling? Are you feeling confident that you guys are making it all the way to those grand finals and potentially gunning for that top spot?
Yeah, I think we are feeling confident. I mean, we worked for this. We do this day in and day out, so we are prepared. We know what we want, and we are here to get it. And I think we'll make it to grand finals again, and I think we will do it as top seed. Yeah.
All right, I really love to hear that. But can I get maybe a cheeky score prediction if you were to guess the upcoming game, your upper bracket, and if you get to the grand
It's the
final?
upper bracket best of 5, right? I think it might go the full length. I think it'll be like a 3-2 scoreline maybe, or maybe like a 3-1. But I'm leaning towards 3-2 because they aren't a bad team. They are good.
So it's going to be a really good fight.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really entertaining and a really good showcase.
From your side, I just want one word that you have to say for the other two teams that are going to be facing you on land this weekend.
I'll give you 2 words. Good luck.
That's all you need to hear. But ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be Team Cyclone, who are going to be coming through as your #1 seed for the Carry First Africa Cup Southern Africa regional finals. And let's see if they can make it all the way and continue their momentum of this run. Oh, I'm so excited. One thing I actually want to note there is it doesn't seem like there's many nerves coming in from Cyclone Esports. They seem very calm, very composed. Maybe that could have just been just the pre-game before we get into the lobby, before we get into the server.
Well, I don't know. I think that by general talking, they are a very confident, well-spoken team, and they don't seem to crack. They've got the ice in esports talks. But I like that they've got respect. I've had a sneak peek at the next interview, and I respect the hell out of Cyclone for what's about to come.
What's happening, folks? I'm here with Team ASG, who are going to be your What's happening, folks? I'm here with Team ASG, who are going to be your second seed coming into the Carry First Africa Cup Southern Africa Regional Finals. I'm joined by Storm and Squid. Starting off with Squid, how are you feeling at this point in time, making it onto land, being a part of ASG?
I'm feeling very confident in our team capabilities, and I'm looking a lot forward to tomorrow.
Coming into this, is there any heavy expectation on you guys, or are you feeling kind of lightweight coming in and you guys feel like you're just going to play your game without much pressure?
No, we don't have any pressure.
So it's just going to come through and just do your thing?
Yeah.
One thing I also noted is one of the players on your team actually was on the other side. He was on Team Cyclone. Yeah. How has that sort of brewed a bit of like confidence coming into this? And is that a bit of motivation for you guys to maybe try and take it over the line, because you are facing them in the upper bracket final?
Yeah, I guess it is because all of us we're trying to prove a point that we are the best team in Africa. So yeah.
Okay, and then one thing I want to ask is, what is your guys' expectation coming into this with regards to scoreline? What would you predict for the upper bracket final and if you get to the grand final?
Did you say if we get to the grand final? No, bro.
Oh.
We are.
Apologies. It's when they get to the grand finals.
Thank you.
Okay.
And obviously it's Cyclone. It's 4-0. If we verse Nemesis, it doesn't matter. We're not versing them. And then grand finals, easy wipe for us once again.
I love to hear that. And then one sentence that you have for your opponents coming into this weekend.
Yeah, just don't underestimate us. That's all.
That's what I love to hear. But ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be Team ASG coming through for the Carry First Africa Cup Regional Southern Africa Finals.
So different from the interview that you had with Cyclone. Cyclone's like, yeah, we ready. It's going to be a close game, 3-2. A lot of respect for our opponents. Good luck is what we say. And then ASG's like, easy wipe, 4-0. You know, like when we get to the grand.
I actually love this because I feel like this adds another level of confidence for the other side of Cyclone Esports, because outside of them being respectful, being cordial, and understanding that, you know what, we have to respect our opponents coming into this.
To a
an extent, but now we're coming into a point where just said, no, we don't care. We don't care who you are, what your name is. Despite them not dropping a single map, they now are faced with a team where they've said, we're going to wipe them. And that has to fuel you even more in Cyclone Esports, which to me, I just feel like we're going to witness even greater COD today.
I mean, I couldn't agree more. But the first thing before we figure out exactly how vindicating or how vindicated Cyclone will feel if they win is we need to know where they're playing. We're going to have to figure out exactly the map pool. And if I'm not mistaken, first one, best of 5. Second one, best of 5. Grands is a best of 7 with a map advantage, just for everyone so that we're all on the same page.
Yeah, and coming into this, I feel at this point in time, there's nothing really to separate them. And taking a look at the maps for the first one on HP, we'll be having Summit, then in the second, Coastal. But starting off on Summit, is going to be quite closely contested because, again, there's nothing to separate these two teams. And one thing that I've also enjoyed coming into this as well is we've kind of had no real idea of who the dominant force is. So this is going to basically be the testament to who can stand to the occasion.
100%. But I just want to go back to Summit, right? Summit's original BO1 map, everyone here has got a lot of reps on it. And I really think it's going to come down to that P3, because 9 times out of 10 we tend to see these teams fight for that rotation, lose the spawns, and then all of a sudden they're out 60, maybe even 80 points, depending how the first 2 hills went. But these two teams, utility, man. I think out of all things that I want to call out for these teams, if they can hear me, is your stun and your nade is worth its weight in gold, because you can't aim straight if your screen is shaking.
Yeah, most definitely. And I've seen time and time again with a lot of these guys, especially with how aggressive they can be getting onto those points. You want to see a bit more utilization of that. But now we've seen that against teams where they've had the upper hand in skill, they've had the upper hand in strategy. But now you're coming up against a team that has the answer for that potentially, that has an idea of how to counteract that. So now it's going to be onus on one of these teams to be the ones to step up, because now you're not just facing the normal teams coming through the groups. You're not just facing maybe number 4 rank, number 5 rank. These are the best of the best within the Southern Africa region. So it's everything to play for here in game number 1. We are loading in Cyclone Esports taking on ASG in game 1 of our upper bracket finals. Who will be the ones to take it away on Summit?
It's a good question. It's going to come down to who's better at rotating. Like you mentioned, this is the best of the best. They have to be able to shoot straight to get here. So the next layer is how well do they play together as a team, and how well, that's a good start there for ASG as they get all 5 down, break straight up, and they have sent the side of Cyclone to the respawn circuit, and they have to regain. Having said that, instant break Caster's Curse. Here we go. P1, chaos as always.
Already, we all understand P1 is always going to have all this close to contested action, and Simpsy already finding some good spots out onto the point, taking down a few players, but also equally to boot, traded out. A really good kill fairly early on, and on a tear, good double kill coming through, and it's going to be the side of ASG who take the advantage early in this first game on Summit, and already it's seeming a bit dominant coming through from ASG. We thought that there was going to be a bit of sway and momentum towards Cyclone, but in an instant, they were just wiped off the map.
And I mean, that was a perfect break, and now they're looking to chain it from P1 to P2. Smokes are an interesting bit of utility, and I like that they're listening to me, right? They're playing for the scraps and not making sure that it's not actually going any direction in that the way of Cyclone. P2 about to pop 39-8. Great start here. The kill feed has been lit up, pretty much blue entirely, but having said that, here comes the retaliation, if you will. First contest is in. Narc finds the first, looking for the second. Poor timing. He gets taken down. Squid is there, but every man for himself as Squid finds 3. Into the point we go.
Finally, we're seeing a bit of a resurgence coming through, and there's some raining shots, and as I say, Caster's Curse, and again, ASG are just taking it back onto Cyclone. Some good shots coming through, and it's going to be, again, a lit-up feed of ASG players. They've got the point, and now it's starting to take for themselves. It's seeming like there's some good control already. Cy Logan able to find 3 in the kill feed, some returning fire, and equally on this side, trying to find another kill, but instantly denied. Cyanide taken down, and right now it is looking like ASG are dominating the early stages of this hardpoint match.
100%, and in the chaos they managed to flip the spawn. I was actually going to bring that up because it was a little bit of everyone throwing utility and themselves at the hill, not really playing for these P3 spawns. And remember how I alluded to the fact that if you have these spawns, you get back into that hill, you could fight pretty much instantly. But it looks like in the chaos, the side of Cyclone gets around the back, and they do have a couple of specialists to work with here, and that's going to be the initial break. The claw has now been popped. Straight forwards we go. Germ finds 2, and this may be the first decent hold coming out of the side of Cyclone, but they have to keep these spawns. As I say, that Storm finds 2, round the back, and straight in with a counter specialist, that being the War Machine.
Beautiful retake coming through in a moment where it seemed like Cyclone finally had a hold in this game. They just instantly got wiped off of the point. But next, giving up a good fight here for ASG, and simply beautiful stuff here coming through from ASG as they're able to retake onto the point, but still some fight that needs to be made as they're going to be coming through for that retake, and it's a really good take on from Toxic, able to take one down. Knock and Storm as well, equally to boot, and it's going to be Cyclone who are going to be on the back foot, trying to find their way back onto the point, and right now it's seeming like they're just trying to opt to go for the next point, not really trying to contest. It's seeming like it's a lost cause.
Well, I wasn't going to say a lost cause, but they had a heads-up play of rotating early there. It seems as though the side of ASG is really playing break heavy as opposed to rotation heavy, but as I say that, the Storm finds a 1v2 around the back end, gets the spawns for the next kills. We do have Danilo with the War Machine in hand, but at this point it's pretty much farts in the wind as everyone from the side of ASG finding kills, keeping them as far away as possible from this point, and that lead now a full 60 between these two teams, and every single push pretty much stopped in its tracks. As you can see, Storm and Knock going back to back at the point. Having said that, Danilo finds 1, the trade is in, but every time you think that there is an opening for the side of Cyclone, they've either lost the spawns or they're not getting their trades effectively as all 4 go down again.
I mean, it's like it's a moment of unison. Every single time ASG have been getting onto that point, there's always someone to constantly be there to trade out the kills that come through from Cyclone. They just haven't had any grasp whatsoever to be able to hold on to these HP points. And right now, it is looking like once again ASG primed and ready to be able to build up. But as I say that, and now instantaneously, it seems like things are flipped on its head. ASG trying to gain control back where it seemed like Cyclone somewhat had a foot in the hole.
Well, they were trying to fight it out here in P1, and it's always chaos. So we're going into our second set of rotations now. But one thing I will admit here is it really feels as though every single player from the side of ASG is working together, whereas on the side of Cyclone, it's sort of just like single chelling. You might get 1 or 2, but Lightning, you know, doesn't strike twice in the same place. Go for your 2s, not your 3s. And right now, they managed to find a bit of time off of the back of maybe some specialist usage. Having said that, Squid almost finds 1, but he gets taken down. And this is a semi-decent hold here from the side of Cyclone, slowly chipping away at that lead. But a lot of the time, it feels as they're getting scraps as opposed to full 40, even 30 seconds on a hill, and you can never make a meal out of scraps. Having said that, perfect hold. P1, getting back into this game 1 point at a time, is going to be Cyclone.
Yeah, step by step, round by round, what a point by point. It's seeming like they're getting themselves back into this as now Cyclone have really come to the party. Squid finding one in the kill feed, and it seems like ASG trying to have a hold on this next point. It's looking good. They're getting some seconds on for themselves. Quick feet there, able to find the kill. Nandi takes him down, and right now, really good challenge here coming through from Cyclone, because that was the biggest problem we're seeing, right? It seemed like they were going for moments of individual brilliance, but now we're seeing a more coordinated push onto these points.
And that off of the back of some nice utility usage, double specialist, Daniello finds 2, make it 3, and Germ is there to help him out, and that's going to be a good clean break. But they need to start thinking about those rotations. Right now the spawn's completely split, so it's pretty much a pinch every single attack at this point. As you can see, Nandi already looking for that play, but he gets taken down. 3 players will now fall. It's just Logan with the equalizer, can't even find more than 1. He gets taken down. The break from ASG, now looking for spawns.
Yeah, that pinch was just so difficult for them right now. They weren't really able to maintain themselves onto that point. And right now, at least it seems like they have something to work off of. Right now, only 1 person going to be on the point, but he's still able to get something. Raining shots down, takes them all out. Germ holding strong. Next finds one in the kill feed. Going to be progressing forward slowly, but eradicated from the map. It is going to be the side of ASG holding on to that next point. Cyclone trying to get onto it. And right now, will they be able to hold it out? As time and time again, we've been seeing ASG have such rock-solid holds onto these points. And it seems like it will be them, again, are getting the bulk of the share. A lot of the time, we've been saying this, you're only seeing those scraps being picked up later on from Cyclone.
And again, they're just getting enough kills to re-roll their specialists. And here we go from the front. It's got to be Simpsy with that death machine in hand. He finds one before getting traded. And you saw for the first 10-15 seconds of this hill, it was just Cyclone fighting for those spawns. They couldn't get the wins they needed. And now they're forced to break from the front. They're doing a valiant effort at that. But it's just a single choke point. And at this point, it feels like I'm out on a Friday night. There's so much smoke on this map. I'm surprised they're getting kills. Toxic's staying alive with the help of Storm. SMG is doing the work every single second for tooth and nail here. But again, coming out on top is going to be ASG, about to cross that 200-point mark before we go over to P4. Look at the rotation though, finally won by Cyclone.
Yeah, finally we're seeing something go their way. Cyclone made it onto the next point already, and they have an opportunity to build something for themselves here, because right now it's not looking too good. I mean, that's again a testament of what their game has been like. Squid able to find the kill, and again equally seeing another one in the kill feed. But then Yellow and Logan returning fire back, able to get some kills back, trying to gain a bit of control. Right now they're going to be sat towards the point, but it's still not enough, as ASG are going to be the ones holding it down, and Squid breaking ankles, finding two in the kill feed, trying to get onto the point right now. We finally see something. Nandi able to take one out onto the point, but it's going to be returning fire. There's just such a good hold and pinch coming through. And again, this unison push that we're always seeing from ASG has just worked to perfection for them.
Yeah, I was going to say, this feels like a monumental blunder here from the side of Cyclone, as they've had the spawns for the majority. It finally flips out now, but even with the close spawns, even with more than one player around the point, it still feels as though ASG finds a chink in their armor, gets into the point and starts securing time. I mean, we have another war machine, we have two streaks in the hands there. Oh, a little bit of extra love. Body shots, making sure that they know where they're at. Logan finds two, but at this point, it's only 18 seconds. There is a bit of a resurgence around the back end on P4, but here we go. P1 to pop again. Third set of rotations. Streak now popped. Kills in the kill feed, going the way of ASG. It depends now. One more final push. But looking at that kill feed, it's still a 2-for-2 trade, making it 3-for-2. Maybe Cyclone is in, but again, it is realistically one break from the side of ASG, and this game is done.
It's do or die time now. We're getting closer and closer towards the end. But for now, it is going to be Cyclone who are holding on. But the points are ticking. They're trying to find him. He's holding on. The points are heading there. Form away from closing it out. But for now, the point is going to be contested. Only one more remaining. And we have 100 club in our first hard point map of the day.
Not quite 100 club, but it was very close. 147 to 250. Fantastic game there. Came down to especially your utility usage from the side of ASG and teamwork, man. These guys were attacking the hill correctly. They were waiting for their teammates, and they weren't single chelling. On the other side, Cyclone just felt like they were really shocked at the pace at which the side ASG came out. I mean, looking at the scores here, 49 for Nex. That is crazy. I mean, Narc didn't have the greatest series, 24 and 28, but it doesn't matter. He was the hill kitten. 2 minutes and 30 seconds. You can have fun in the hill if your teammates are getting the kills.
I mean, but this is what we're saying, right? It just felt like there was coordination with ASG. It seemed as if there was a game plan, game strategy, because when we were looking at Cyclone trying to get back onto the point, trying to get themselves at least something to work with, it just felt like there was more coordination as opposed to the individual brilliance that they maybe were looking for. We understand that Cyclone is talented player for player. But when it comes to moments like these where you need to be able to play your twos, play your threes, making sure that you're pushing that point together, you can't be having moments where you're having a 2v4 retake.
100%. Because it's a 5v5 game mode, you always have to be ready for that third fight, because you'll have your standard roster, which will be one person in the back holding spawns, at least one, maybe two in the point, and then you have one player sort of securing a little bit more map pressure, and then you have a sweeper in that fifth player. And it just felt as though the side of Cyclone never counted that fifth player. It was always like, oh, I got my two, then they don't even turn around, not ready for that third fight, and then they get broken, and then they've got all their players around the hill, and the time is just going the way of ASG. They just never really felt like they were, I don't want to say a good unit, because there were some moments of brilliance, like they rotated early, but a little bit too little too late, man, and now they got to regain. First map done, 1-0 down, going over to, I believe it is Coastal for S&D.
Yes.
Different game. different game mode, different map. I wonder how the pace is going to look. Importantly, if the side of ASG continues their momentum and is as aggressive as they've been, we're probably going to see a lot of takes around B, fighting in that wine cellar zone. But in the same breath, in S&D you tend to you fight for that first blood, get the bomb down, convert the round. But these guys, it might be waiting for their teammates to do something brilliant or waiting for the opposition to trip up in some way. If you can wait them out long enough, somebody's going to get overzealous and want to go look for that kill, look for a bit of information at the very least. But only time will tell. At this point, it's all up in the air, but what is determined is that map number 1 went the way of ASG, and I would say quite confidently.
I mean, confidently is an understatement. They performed exceptionally well. It just seemed like every point clicked for them. They had a game plan, they had a strategy, it worked to perfection. They dotted their I's, crossed their T's, and at the end of it, they came out with what I feel like definitely was a convincing win, and it's looking very comfortable for them going forward. And right now at this point in time, I'm kind of intrigued to see how Cyclone Esports bounce back from this, because again, we've seen moments where teams have this happen to them and it's very difficult to kind of have that mentality to maybe bounce back into it. But outside of that, you can't really call it and say, that's just the end of it, call it quits. Now it's going to be a testament to see, can we see a fight come through from Cyclone? Can we see a response come through?
Well, look, I'm always a bit of an optimist when it comes to Call of Duty, especially in the best of 5. S&D wins you like competitions, wins you tournaments, wins you champs.
Yeah.
You got to get your S&D down because it's always going to end up being the last game mode, no matter which way you look at it. So right now, if you have a solid S&D, your control might not be the best ever, but it could still be at least contestable, because if we're looking at the slaying capabilities from the side of ASG, it's a pretty one-sided battle at the moment. So this is where you really got to get them to bleed.
Yeah, most definitely. But ladies and gentlemen, we are loading into game number 2 here on LAN, live in Cape Town, South Africa, for the Southern Africa Regional Finals of the Carry First Africa Cup. It is going to be S&D, and already we're seeing Logan with a filthy shot takes down Squid, and then it's going to be first blood drawn for the side of Cyclone Esports.
But an instant trade, currently a 4v4. I like it. Fresh lead tooth implants in the mid-map. Here comes a second for Logan. He finds it. Maybe some timing. Well, his teammates are there, and this is looking like the Cyclone that we know and love. They have found every single kill needed. It's currently a 1v4.
And this is really how you want to have a response. This is what we want to be seeing come through from a team that is the first seed in this tournament. Right now, it will be the side of Cyclone Esports, who are looking primed and ready to clinch this first round. He spots out the last player, can't find the shot, going for the second, and a filthy quick scope to boot. Oh, and it's seeming like they're giving it to them now on stage. Cyclone Esports, they're here to play.
The source, that's 3 in the round off the back of some crispy sniper shots. We get to see if they can do it again, bearing in mind that it is first to 9, threading the needle, not getting the first blood, but at least they have a bit of information.
They understand where they're going to be. Utility raining down, nothing able to connect just yet. They're able to hold it down, and now things ever so slightly slowing down. It's looking like Cyclone, as you say, back to what we might have looked for, the default, looking for someone to maybe be overzealous, try to overstep, and might that be Toxic? Doesn't seem like it just yet. Just waiting around the corner here with the shotgun, but it's not going to happen just yet. Oh, he spotted him out, but not going for it. Really good patience.
At this point, they've got over a minute to work with. They're just looking for a bit of information. Maybe they can figure out exactly which way they want to push. Here we go. Toxic now maybe looking for a bit of an entry frag on the cellar side of the map. Oh, the timing. Couldn't quite find the shot. Gets the hit marker. And now he's screaming for help. I'm pretty sure I can hear him from the stage. Guys, they're coming B. They're coming B. Help, help, help. But it's a fake. Excellent read here from the side of Cyclone, as they may just be able to get around the other end. And that's going to be first blood now drawn. Daniello gets the ball rolling.
Beautiful style on the fake, and you see the other player not really opting to go next, just giving them the plant and allowing it to go down, not going to contest it. And this is going to be an opportunity, potentially. Oh, it's going to be a 5 versus 2 now. Oh, you missed the shot! Couldn't convert, and he's not going to repeat that, opting to push back. And it's not looking too good. It's Cyclone now potentially going on the hunt themselves. Ooh, taken down. Oh my goodness! Okay, in what seemed like a lost cause, they're back in it, but it's going to be a 3 versus 1. It has to be near flawless, but he can't find the next. Good trade there,
Crispy
but
shots.
very scary.
Crispy shots, and that's what happens when you start having extra time on your hands and extra players. You start running at them. And what's the number one rule in a clutch situation? Never give.
Don't give your ones.
There we go. And that's exactly what they're looking for right now. But it does look like we're going to see the side of Nex here with the sniper in hand, seeing if he can hand out some free haircuts in the mid-map, but it's going to be an instant trade on the other side. It's currently a 4v4, and the Observer Curse happens at the worst possible time. But looking at Toxic here, he's trying to see if he can put holes in players pushing him, and he gets hit markers looking for the second, but it's a trade again, 3v3.
Really good trade coming through, and they're able to break their way and bulldoze onto the side to get that bomb down. And right now, it'll be Operation Retake once again from ASG.
They are a man up, though, which is their advantage.
And it's looking good. 2 to 3. Can they convert this time around? He spots the player. Some shots raining down. But Nandi is he's the wiser, able to take him down. Put in the 2v2. Some nades coming in. He misses the shot. And that's going to be a 1 versus 2. Make it a 1 versus 1. Can he convert it? He's one of the last player. And what a way to clutch it out.
Oh, 2v3 playing the trades, baiting out the snipers. Couldn't ask for more. Playing the clock, and Nandi said, not today. This is my bomb. As that looked like an absolute burn.
Oh, that is hectic. And right now, Cyclone are looking good here on S&D. Spotting maybe potentially a bit of activity, waiting for someone to peek their head. But right now, just holding it, Logan. He's just really been good at having those opening moments. But for now, won't be able to find anything at this point in time. Once again, just going back to that default, just waiting for someone to overstep.
They got the bomb again now, trying to get it down. They've got a minute and 30 to work with, yet to find that first blood. But like you said, it's sort of just playing checkers and chess at the same time against 5 other people. It's a pretty difficult task, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Trying to find that opening, and there it is, the hit marker. Oh my goodness. Closer than my dad was ever to my family. But the first blood is drawn. Daniello finds another, but it's a trade still. 3v4.
Yeah, but I mean, that was a 2-for-1 trade. And right now, another one was found in the kill feed, put down into a 1 versus 4. Cyclone are running riot right now. And it's looking very favorable for them. The last one spotted out. Germ takes him out.
You got to check your corners, man. Captain Price would be upset.
Check your corners.
Check your corners.
Oh, that is rough, but it's looking good so far. We're going to have a swap. So what can we see come through from ASG?
Well, maybe this is a very attacker-heavy map, but in my experience, it really comes down to who can keep control of this site. As B tends to be chaos, but it's actually going to be Squid who finds the first blood, giving them the instant man advantage. But the reset coming through. Bomb yet to go down. Just over.
Oh! Okay.
Quick trade. 4v4.
Watch your heads. And taken down. It's going to be a 1-for-1 trade, so still 4 left alive on either side. But round is broken open already, so this can potentially go any which way. We're seeing one creeping up slowly through the mid. It's going to be Logan.
Grenade out.
We peeking pixel angles in COD Mobile. That's insane.
Okay, we've actually reached a different type of touch grass. How are we doing this? Looking for someone. He saw a bit of
No, wait. We need to go over this for a second. I'm squinting at a monitor, and this guy's playing on a phone screen looking at this.
Look at this.
I was playing Siege right now. That's crazy work.
Absolutely peak. But Logan, he's going to go for the aggression and instantaneously trying to pitch back. Taken out. Squid ran them down. And Logan does not waver. Going to find the kill in the kill feed, and it's seeming like now the round is going to be blown apart as Toxic is going to find a couple in the kill feed. Daniello able to return fire. 2v2 situation. Shots raining through. Tagged up. A lot of chip damage done onto Nog, and there's going to be another kill down, and Nog left in a 2 versus 1.
His teammates falling like absolute flies around him, and like I said, it's the fight for B every single time. Bomb now planted. 38 seconds and working, and you turn the corner, and guess what's waiting for you? The good old boomstick.
Absolutely evaporated from the server. Cyclone really are showcasing why they are the number one seed.
There's no way O's are looking at pixel angles on a phone screen. That's crazy.
This feels extremely nerdy at this point.
That's crazy. Though I suppose it is the regional finals. You take every single play that you can make. And I imagine we're probably going to see other crazy things like that. Right now, straight running down mid-knock. It's the first, but the trade is instant. It seems as though the shotgun presence in B is just too much for them to work with. But here we go, Squid, shooting everything but the players.
Yeah, not able to connect on any of the shots, but at the moment, it's seeming like they actually have gone for a rotate. They got the first kill, and then just flipping the map, going on to B. And it's, as you say, constantly just going to be witnessing a lot of these B fights and trying to set themselves up. Nade coming through, stun as well. Shots, he broke 2 ankles. Able to find 2 before he drops Storm, at least making it a favorable advantage for his team to retake into.
Yeah, well, they've got a 3v2, but we've seen this exact play happen before. It was about 2 rounds ago. Knock eats a nade but survives. But right now, it is all about trying to force a 1v1. But I don't know about you, I would not want to face Simsi with a shotgun around this bomb. So here comes Squid first to the fray, trying his very best. Simsi again finding 1, but now it's a 1v2. Logan finds his first target by 2! Ice in the veins, breaking ankles, waiting for his teammates, and in other game modes, other first-person shooters, you say that was premium bait right there.
That was beautiful. And I mean, what I enjoyed there is it seemed like there was a bit of a coordinated push on the 2v1, but then again, we see this isolating the duels, and he's able to take both of them out. Beautiful brilliance there from Logan.
And I think it came down to that utility usage as well. I think when he got hit by that nade, it sort of threw the push from SG out the window completely. Having said that, map turned on its head. Here comes the first fight. It's going to be Germ who's taken down. Toxic alive. And it's going to be Nandi who finds 2 by some miracle. And now life count advantage was there for a second. But the trades are so quick and thick. And right now, it's Simsi versus the world. Looking to see if he can order something from the cigar shop. He finds the first knock is there. It's now a 1v1. But leave it to Logan. Clutching up. Like his name suggests, Wolverine can never die.
Oh my goodness, absolutely beautiful stuff coming through in this. And at the moment, only 2 rounds away from closing this out. Cyclone have been looking indomitable right now here on S&D. It's looking like there's just not been an answer. We thought that maybe it might have been an attack decided. But what is this chaos? It is an absolute bloodbath that's going to ensue. Players dropping left, right, and center. And ASG taking the fight to Cyclone.
They needed to change something, and that was the exact change that worked. And that was, let's just run at them. It'll either work or we're losing the round, 50-50. You know, it's like opening a case on CS. You know, you either get it or you don't.
Yeah, I mean, you know, better luck. And it worked out for them here at Grand West here in Cape Town. But will they find another answer to so many questions that have been asked of them here in this S&D map? Getting pushed back by that utility. Lots of stuns being thrown out left, right, and center. And it's seeming like not really trying to contest it too much, but actually, as I say that, it's seeming like they're going for a re-hit potentially. Looking for those angles, and Simpsy finding 2 in the kill feed. Germ getting taken down by Knock, but it's going to be a 3 versus 3. Make that a 3 versus 2. And ASG
line him up and knock him down.
Signs of life.
Signs of life indeed, and I believe we should be swapping to... No, 1 more round before we swap over to defense and attack swapping. But... a little bit of life being shown, but I think the aggression from ASG has returned. That's something that they really lacked in the first couple of rounds, and Cyclone really capitalized on that. Having said it, here we go, straight to the fray. B fought as per usual, but First Blood yet to reign true, but in the mid-map we shall duel. Instant 1-to-1 trade.
So much action ensuing, and I really love this new approach from ASG. They've not really allowed anything. Okay, at this point in time, how nerdy are we getting? Trying to find something, trying to get the wall bang, and it's going to be Squid as well. Finding a kill in the kill feed. Germ still alive.
1v1.
Shut down, but only for the moment. Dropped all the way down to low HP. The spam through the box. Can't find anything. Simsi needs to get something. He swings! Takes him down. A bit of BM as well.
A little bit of extra love to get the clutch in there. It was a true 2v2. Nice entry, and then the trade was good. And I just want to go back to, we are peaking pixel angles on a phone, and then we are wall banging.
Yeah.
Like actively,
Yeah.
this is crazy work. I respect it. One round away, Cyclone maybe looking to prove the side of ASG wrong with that clean sweep.
I mean, there's a reason why they're there and we're here.
Yeah, fair. I play on a controller, so this is foreign.
But already, oh my goodness, an absolute war happening. Utility raining left, right, and center. Running onto the map. Where are you looking?
Angles.
Toxic finding one as well, equally to boot. Storm finding another kill. The bomb will go down. So it won't be contested for now. The retake will have to come through. It's going to be a 2 versus 3 retake. Can they find something? Oh no, Simpsy, don't do that! On stage, on LAN.
Bro gave him the Cape Town special and punched out his front teeth. And now we're going for the retake. It's still a 2v2 right now.
Oh no! Knock! Finds the 1v2, takes them down, shuts it down.
Well, at this point, they're hanging on by their fingernails on the edge of that cliff. That is the end of this game. But every single round counts. It's not much of an economy to break here, so it's more about how they're going to play this next round. And to answer that question, every little bit of utility thrown in the mid-map is actually going to hurt you because you took a little bit longer, but the trade, instant, 4v4.
Yeah, straight into a 4v4 very early on. And this is what I actually want to be seeing a lot more from ASG, a lot more proactivity. We're seeing them now not just sit back and wait for Cyclone to play into them. And right now, them taking this fight is actually kind of maybe shaken and rocked Cyclone, because right now, it's seeming like they don't have an answer for this aggression that they've been seeing very early on in these rounds.
Well, we're talking about aggression, and right now everyone's counting bricks on a wall to see who's going to go in first.
Who's going to blink first?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that this wall can hold itself up, but Nandi's just making sure.
Yeah, like, you just have to check, you enjoy some infrastructure.
100%. It's been 30 seconds, guys. Like,
brother,
surely. We can't talk about aggression and then everyone just grinds to a halt because they're a bit afraid. But having said that, ASG obviously knows one mistake will cost them the map. So they're waiting their very best, at least, for the side of Cyclone to make a mistake.
We're seeing Squid as well on that lurk, potentially maybe trying to see if there's an opportunity to call for a rotate. And I mean, why is it when we're not looking? That's when
I was literally going to point that out. I was like, he has to face Logan with a sniper in mid. It's pretty tough. So now it's a 4v3. And they just have about 30 seconds to work with. And now you can start to see the panic coming
Oh my
through.
goodness.
Simpsy finds 2. And Toxic manages to answer back in the 1v4. He finds 2. But he has 25 seconds and counting. Do not allow for the close ones. Logan, drop, line, and sinker. Closes it out with that boomstick. Open the map and close the map with the boomstick. Cyclone on the board, 1 apiece.
Fantastic work and a really good resurgence coming through. We had the question, can they get themselves back into this? Can they have a response for the ASG team, which looked like they were on their A game. But right now, it didn't seem like there was too much to sort of handle coming into this with regards to were they wavered, were they shaken up by that first round loss, and right now we're going into game number 3, 1 apiece.
Well, that's the full regain that they needed, right? You were asking, you're going to get checked on the first map, then you shouldn't be in the grand finals, man, because at the end of the day, if it's a clean sweep, was it really the grand finals? No, but this is technically winners, and there's still a game after this. So if I'm Sparza Gaming and I'm watching this happen, I'm like, damn, we got to play one of these teams.
Brother, after the nerdy stuff that we've been seeing.
Bro, I was going to be able to tell me how many bricks are in this wall, because if you shoot this third brick from the left, it's going to go through into their spawn.
Bro, the fact that they have the wall bangs in COD Mobile.
Dude, now look, this is what you need, right? This is the regional finals. You want to do everything you can, no matter how sleazy it might seem. Interestingly, I want to know if there's aim assist through the wall so that they can like spam, because that was a thing in Modern Warfare 2019. So I don't know. This is Crossroad, new map for me. I haven't actually seen it, but it's going to be a good old game mode as Control, where there is limited lives and you have to cap 2 points. So it's pretty much the best of both worlds. Domination, a little bit of hard point, a little bit of S&D.
Yeah, I really love that. And once again, if you're just joining us, you are unaware of what is happening. We're here on land, live in Cape Town at Grand West Casino for the Carry First Africa Cup regional finals for Southern Africa. 2 teams out of the 3 that are here competing will be booking their tickets and flights to Nigeria to compete in the Grand Finals. This is our upper bracket final, our number 1 and number 2 seed. If you didn't know, coming into this, these teams were undefeated, hadn't dropped a single map, and now we've seen that.
They both
now
have. The stats just continue to mirror each other.
By the actually, that just clicked in my head.
Yeah, literally, it's now whatever the count was. I think it was probably 9 coming into it. So 9, and then it was 9-1 or 10-1, and then it was 9-1, and now it's 10-1 both ways. Yeah, pretty much we are load. Unlucky.
I will believe that we're still on screen.
Are we?
so-
Hopefully. I mean, okay, so we're having a bit of a technical error at the moment, but that's okay. We can talk about the match. Like I said, we had first map, blowout from the side of ASG. Second map, blowout from the side of Cyclone. Like, I can't even make predictions at this point.
I really can't, because and that was the scariest thing coming into this. I was worried because whenever we've made just like really predictions, it's never worked out. And coming into
Plead the
this,
fifth. Plead the fifth. Sounds like we're loading. It sounds like we're loading into the game at the very least. But so it's going to be Control on Coastal Strike, if I'm not mistaken. That's the name of the map. New one for me, but definitely not a new one for the Call of Duty scene in terms of the mobile side, at least. Who's going to take it? Do you think we're going to see our first actual like nail biter, or is it going to be like another one-sided one and then another one-sided one? But granted, this is more closely related to S&D than it is HP, so maybe Cycling has the advantage. And right now, I can just hear gunshots. Hopefully, it's good.
yeah, I mean, I guess it's working, and in our experience right now, from what I hear, it's seeming like
I think
chaos
they're
is
shooting at each other, like at the very least.
good. Yeah, and I think people are talking as well. I think so.
100%.
But apologies, ladies. We are trying to get that sorted here on LAN. And if you ever have attended LAN, you understand that there is going to be technical difficulties.
Wouldn't be a land without it.
And what I mean as well, I mean, South Africa, or even just Africa in general, for some technical issues every now and then. So it happens. Welcome to esports if you've never been here before. But we are still getting ready to try and see if we can get some feed on our side. And we're getting closer, and we are finally in. Ladies and gentlemen, we apologize for all of the yapping. We finally can witness some action, and already it's seeming like it's going to be Cyclone who already have the first tick on A, and also potentially getting that first tick on B.
They have both ticks, to be honest with you, and they have a 7 life count advantage. So for anyone who likes to count, that means they can respawn an additional 5 times, whereas the side of ASG is sort of getting choked out here, and every single trade that isn't a double kill here is not going to be doing work for this. Okay, we get to see a nice little 2-piece there, slowly chipping away at it. Now that deficit brought down to 3. Only 1 tick apiece here, but now it comes down to either you playing TDM or you're playing for those caps. And in my opinion, the caps are worth a lot more because it does count towards who gets defense. But 24 seconds, 6-9. At least it's not 6-7, but now attacking both sides, it's going to be a full sweep, 5-8. Make it a 4-8.
I really hate you sometimes for that joke, but you know what, it's fine. At least we didn't have to see it. But some shots raining down. Knock is going to find in the kill feed. It's only going to be 3 lives remaining. No respawns available for the side of Cyclone. And right now, ASG are primed and ready to go 1-up in this first side of Control. And it's looking good so far. I mean, a bit of a resurgence from what we witnessed in the previous map.
Well, it's back to the respawn gameplay, right? We get to see the side of ASG sort of just really run. Oh, I know this map. This map... Wait, do I? Yes, I do know this map. This is a map from Cold War. And the fight in mid-map ensues. The kill feed is very, very yellow. If you are the fans of ASG, that's what you want to see. And they're already flying forwards. Having said that, they have lost more players than that of the side of Cyclone, but right back into the running we go. Not able to secure a point as of right now, that being Cyclone is there on attack, but every single kill looking like it's going the way of ASG.
Yeah, ASG really starting to feel themselves the war machine as well, finding some success, and it's looking good very early for ASG. They have a 5 life advantage and a beautiful quick scope as well. This is looking like a dominant showcase coming through from ASG. At this point, we've just been seeing some TDM. These guys aren't even going for these points, trying to get those ticks. It's just been ASG running riot all over the map. 17-8. They've been hunting them down everywhere across this map, looking for someone to pick it out, and a beautiful headshot as well to boot. Next is going to find one in the kill feed. A few players, he's going to miss out on them, not able to find an angle, trying to get something with the claw. And Germ is going to be equal to him, able to get the kill confirmation. Next as well, going to find one in the kill feed to trade it out, but it's going to be 5 lives to 10. Time is ticking down, 5 seconds, or rather 6. And it's going to be paused for now. And there we go. We have the tick. That's going to be the first tick afforded for Cyclone. They only have 5 lives, only 3 advantage this time around, and in the smoke, still able to find kills. And from a moment where it seemed like ASG had the upper hand, we're now 5 apiece, 5 lives on either team. And right now, they have all 3 ticks A captured, and now it is only going to be B left, a 5 versus 4. They need to see something come through from ASG, breaking ankles, trying to find him. He gets the kill confirmation knock. It's going to be a 4 versus 4. Now, no respawns can be afforded. The shots are not connecting. And right now, holding his own, trying to find an angle. Logan spots one out. He doesn't know about the second. Beautiful one. Beautiful bait. And as you said, check your corners.
It's currently a 2 versus 3, and that was the epitome of locking in, as they didn't even have a single tick. They managed to find a full point, but now it's a 1v3. Simpsy finds himself in a tough spot. Having said that, he gets taken down, so that's 2 rounds going the way of ASG, but they are even in ticks.
Yeah, it was very shaky at that point. But
that was locking in. That was impressive.
That was insane. But ASG able to close out and get a second on the board. So it's looking very, very comfortable for them at this point in time early on. But we're seeing signs of life, and it's looking like there's going to be trades on equal ends and just spraying it down the equalizer. Beautiful confirmation on kills. Looking yet again, spotting out Nandi, but also get traded out. A bit of BM as well. No love lost between these two teams.
At this point, it's literally like, I think they're playing the psychological game on top of the actual game in terms of getting kills at respawn. Attacking that B site now is going to be the side of ASG. Just sort of peppering up the players where they can. Here comes the aggression from Toxic. He gets one before being traded, but his teammate Narc is there to pick up the pieces. First tick now found. 7 life advantage continuing to grow for the side of ASG here, as they have been the dominant respawn team. And then some. Into the spawn we go. Toxic finds one. Nandi was looking for a couple there with that war machine, but he couldn't convert it. But at the moment, it doesn't really matter. First 2 ticks found at B. 7 life advantage. Well, actually, no, they didn't complete the second tick at B. Now they're decapping 11 to 16. This is sort of where we got to see the side of Cyclone lock in themselves. Will they be able to do it on attack now?
Yeah, and the moment is, can they convert on this end? They weren't able to close it out last time, but the war machine wreaking havoc. Only good for one, though. Gonna get traded out by Daniello. The trade, spraying shots through. Toxic able to find one in the kill feed. It's now going to be 15 to 5. Almost a 10 kill, rather make that a 9 rather life advantage. And it's not looking too good. 2 to 13. I mean, it is looking extremely dire. There is no way in hell you are clutching this 1v12.
I mean, that'll be generational plays right there, but he has to contend with every single specialist that has been popped. He has to find good timing on every single player. Now he's just been spotted out. Straight into the teeth we go, and it's going to be ASG, proving that they are the team to beat in Respawn and finding their second map in the series.
Yeah, it's looking good. It felt like a very comfortable win as well.
That was quick. It was like 5 minutes.
Genuinely, that is, I think, one of the quickest games of Control I've ever witnessed. But, I mean, ASG had a game plan, and it really worked to perfection. They
run them in spawn.
Yeah.
Running them in spawn works, get them into a trap. But in the same breath, the side of Cyclone showed so much life. When it was a 5v10, they brought it down to a 2v4 in the end, and they couldn't clutch up. But it begs the question, where was that for the majority of the game? You can't have one brilliant play and then expect to be able to, like, I don't know, convert that. Like right now, looking at the stats here, leading the lobby again was Toxic with 30 to 14 and 6 assists. Man, these guys are really putting up numbers. And Toxic was the top fragger in the previous Respawn as well. Had a bit of a dip in the S&D. But, you know, you can't be the best in every game mode. But right now, we're looking to go to our next hard point, which I believe is going to be on Hussey. That's the end of that is. And Respawn, ASG, looking pretty good right now.
Oh, most definitely. And I'm excited to go back to this because in the beginning, we had ASG who took the first hardpoint map. And from what we've witnessed, it seems like that's been their strength. That has been something that they've worked really well. They've drilled a lot of their, plays and strategies coming into it, because it seemed like, as we've mentioned time and time again when we were watching that hardpoint match, that they seemed like they had a lot more unison in what they were doing. There was a strategy, there was always someone constantly contesting, and outside of that, it was very difficult for even the side of Cyclone to even sometimes get out of their own spawn.
And I think that's just a testament to really controlling the flow of the game. And I think the pace at which the side ASG comes out of the gates and then continues to either fight you from the front and just bleed you into that spawn trap, which is what they did there in the control. And then in terms of hardpoint, even if they don't have the back spawns, they tend to break in from the front. And if they do get the back spawns, which we saw at least on 2 of the hills, it's just so tough. And I think it really comes down to maybe not trusting each other at the same level that ASG is, because what I had noticed at the very least is that the comm would come, somebody's flanking, 3 players from the side of Cyclone turn around, 2 players from the front, ASG, they're going to cut you down every single time. You've got to back your teammates, you've got to be able to back up your initial hold, and I think that's where the chips in the armor are really showing now from the side of Cyclone. On the side of ASG, they're just gunning. I think that they do have a very good game plan coming into this, but I fear that if they run into a Cyclone team that's more prepared and sort of a little bit more trusting, it would not work as well. Having said that, all up in the air, currently 2-1 to the side of ASG, straight over to P1, and as always, it's going to be a bit of chaos.
It is always going to be a bloodbath here on the first point, and it is going to be the side of Cyclone who get the brunt of the attack, but still weather the storm, and they're able to find a good amount of kills, but equally, Nex and Toxic able to get some kills in the kill feed, and as soon as they always have that advantage, it slips out of their hands, and Cyclone starting to pull ahead. But as I say that, the point is going to get contested, and instantly we're going to be seeing ASG back on that horse.
And now they've got their long angles covered. They can allow their SMGs to have fun, get into the faces of Cyclone Gaming, continue to run up that score point and fight them off of the spawn. 20 seconds left, and you have to start thinking about P2. You can see one player, that is Daniela, already getting set up on new, but we get to see our first bit of streaks. Nandi now coming around the back end is going to be fighting for 11 seconds. At this point, I don't know why we're looking for those 11 seconds. We need to be thinking about those P2 spawns. Actually, they've been lost. It's going to be the side of ASG up and ready to go on the next point. And from the front, we shall break if you are on the shoes of Cyclone.
I mean, this again just feels like the shades of the first map. Time and time again, they try to fight for the point, lose out, and then they're contesting for those scraps, not trying to go for the next point. And yet again, we're seeing ASG taking control. Simply though, able to find the kill, but there's going to be a trade, taking down Storm, able to shut him down, and yet another shutdown coming through Nog. Guys, what is going on? Left, right, and center, darting past each other, but able to get the kill confirmation. There's going to be some chip damage done, bouncing back away. Storm is going to find the kill, and then Toxic as well, equally to boot, and it is just raining blue on the side of the kill feed. Finding another yet again. Good kill coming through from Squid and Storm. Right now, it is looking like ASG are running riot. Germ able to finally return fire, and then in a moment where it seems like they're getting their shut down.
I must admit, there's just something that I've noticed from the side of ASG, and that's spawn manipulation and map control. They managed to force parallels for the majority of this hill. Then at 20 seconds, they send one player running for P4, flip out those spawns. They are there first. Huge 1v1 to go down, but you got to get your way through the mid-map, and of course they have streaks. This is clinical HP being played by ASG.
I mean, this has just been a beautiful strategy. Every single time it feels like Cyclone is trying to get into this game, they're just one step ahead constantly, time and time again. And right now, Cyclone are really kind of fighting for scraps, but it's seeming like there's a bit of action and fight coming back. And Cyclone seeming like they're now trying to contest, getting onto the points. Logan is spraying it down. He's clearing house, but shut down.
Well, it was looking pretty good there, and we see the parallel spawns now coming through. Predator missile coming in from Logan. Maybe a break potential here for the side of Cyclone, as it is indeed. And they actually managed to find the majority of time here, putting this game within 30 points, and they're continuing to chip at that lead. Starting to think about next, which is Rock Hill, and in my opinion, I would have saved my specialists and streaks for the next one. But I suppose at this level, you want to get every single second you can. And it does look like scraps will be going the way of ASG. But over towards P4 we go. 2v2 as through and through as it gets. And it is won by the side of Cyclone. So we get to see the first rotation won by them. But now they need to weather the storm. That is ASG on this first push.
Yeah, and already you can even see the pinch coming in. The first few lines of defense falling down. Still holding it strong onto the point. Simpsy trying as much as possible. They've weathered the storm for the first part, but here comes the second wave. Utility raining in. Squid is going to find a kill. Storm as well to boot. The War Machine holding them back, but having to at least concede for the moment. Getting back onto that point, waiting for his players to get back and give him a bit of support. Daniello tried his best, but couldn't keep them out. And right now, understanding there is still a few players on the point. But what a retake coming through, and it's still up in the air. Anyone can really go for this, but it's still going to be advantage. And finally, Cyclone pulling ahead for the first time in HP.
You get to see a lead change come through off the back of a perfect rotation. They weathered that storm, they held their specialists, and in the mid-map we go. Nandi finding one, just bobbing and weaving before eating a nade. That tends to be fatal. But over towards P1 we go for our second set of rotations. Pretty much a tie game, 101 to 82. It all depends on this first break here. On the pop, it's going to be the side of Cyclone, actually finding that first bit of time. Here we go, some streaks to work with as well. This is a completely different, more coordinated team. It felt as though the first 3 kills were really figuring out how they want to play against this ASG team. And now P1 about to pop, and I eat my words completely as ASG break back in, looking to find the lead once more.
Yeah, but of course it's because there's now ASG cleaning house, seeming like they're going to be the ones to contest the point and finally get a bit of favor on their side, because at this point in time it seemed like Cyclone were running riot. Germ was able to find 2, but not enough. Simpsy is still there, putting up good fights, and it's really up in the air, but Cyclone finally clinched control of those points. And is this going to be potential of them pulling ahead even further? Right now, not being made any easier, as everywhere you look, it is just bodies dropping left, right, and center. But it's seeming like the side of ASG are the ones going to be in the driving seat as they've finally taken control of the point.
Yes, but they have conceded the next point in terms of spawns and the first bit of time. And with Nandi and the Tempest in hand, that is going to be a tough break. Having said that, Toxic finds himself 2. Has to go and fight up against a death machine. And from every which angle, it looks like the side of ASG might have had a break there, but every specialist saved from the side of Cyclone to hold them in for as long as possible. But in the chaos, spawns flip. From the front we go. The Sparrow was popped but didn't actually convert to anything. But luckily the Death Machine from Storm is there to find a few. Next with an AR, but Logan now with the equalizer, trying not to equalize the points, actually to find a bit more. And they might actually put the side of SG in a bit of a spawn trap here, looking towards the next hill. Simply finding 2, but the trades on trades on trades. Coming out on top, Cyclone managing to keep out of the spawn trap, and now looking towards P4.
Yeah, it's looking very good for them at this point in time, able to gain control. It is so chaotic right now, but still holding it down. Germ next, going to shut him down, but they're rotating to the next point, conceding and not really trying to contest that. Now it will be a test to see, can they weather this storm? Because most of the time, we've been having to see Cyclone be the ones to kind of hold down the fort. But right now, it'll be the side of Cyclone Gaming making that rotation, coming through. But it seems like they just have an answer. And right now, Cyclone sitting in the driving seat as they've been able to take control for now.
Well, that was a bit of a waste of the War Machine there, straight shooting his ammo straight into the trophy systems of Cyclone. And now they are growing their lead considerably, keeping the side of ASG in a spawn trap of its own, forcing the parallel spawns though, as a huge one-on-one on Plat has to go through for the side of Cyclone. But now fighting around the back end is going to be Logan. He finds the first, waiting for his teammates' response there. Well, it's just chaos. I can't see what's going on. It feels again like a night out in Catwalk, as there's just so much smoke. Simpsy finds 2, but the contest is in. 15 points between these 2 teams, and I don't know, it's just too chaotic. I haven't seen a closely fought point like this in a very long time. Going towards next, Cyclone on the back foot in terms of rotation. ASG there first.
Yeah, ASG just going to go next, and they at least have an advantage to be able to clinch the first moment of this point. And finding the first kill, the resurgence is here slowly but surely. ASG trying to mount that comeback and stretch themselves ever so slightly back into the lead. They have the first few ticks, but there's going to be the storm. That is Cyclone, but Cyclone not able to find anything so far, getting shut down. And this is a better hold coming through from ASG. And right now, Logan trying to put up a bit of a fight, still shut down. Nexus 1 Squid in the kill feed. Streak coming through. Huge. And that is going to find a conversion onto Simsi. Taken down. And right now, ASG are finding their footing once again.
Keep in mind, Danielo still has that War Machine in hand, but he has to contend with Storm's Death Machine as Storm finds himself too, looking for another. But that was a fantastic hold nonetheless. 18 seconds left before we go into our third set of rotations, and Storm continues his reign. Streaks potentially in the works here. Squid with the equalizer, still finding a couple of those kills, but you need to be careful if you Squid. You might overextend here, flip out those spawns and open up for a pinch. Having said that, it does look like Nex is there to make sure that there is no pinch in the works. Germ, last man on the alive, but it's so difficult in the 5v5 to track exactly which specialist is available. But right now, Logan with another equalizer in hand, trying to get back into this.
It is
About
going to be
40 points between the two teams.
Yeah, going to be extremely chaotic going on to this next point. Right now, it is going to be the side of ASG who will be the ones to get the first point on. Will they be able to hold it down? It won't be the finishing moments here. They'll still have to get to the next point, but for now, they are at least growing their advantage. Right now, they are running the show. ASG are holding strong, but here comes the second wave of action. Can they weather the storm that has been Cyclone? Time and time again, they've been having these tests, and it's looking like they've been passing with flying colors.
Flying colors might be a stretch, but they are down 50 points or so now, and they have to think about P2. They managed to break in at the last second. Having said that, Narc finds a huge two-piece. Squid starts to cut them down as they rotate. That was beautiful trigger discipline, allowing him to get behind one, but Nandi makes the read, gets the kill. So, 30 seconds and counting. Germ with the claw in hand doesn't actually convert too much. Now all the pressure in the world placed onto the shoulders of Cyclone, as it's actually going to be an EMP that's popped, so no HUD for them either. And we get to see maybe a bit more utilization of the specialist here. 20 seconds and counting. Daniela, I was about to allude to that. He has to go huge here. He finds 3, looking for more, but his teammates aren't able to pick up the pieces as they don't even secure the spawns, as it was just farts in the wind, like I said. And now they have to regain a run across the map, pretty much spawning in Narnia is the side of Cyclone Gaming. The players now cut down 7 seconds. Realistically, we're going to see one more push, and if this player gets cut down, having said that, 3 players will fall. Here comes the final effort, and it's going to be a break at the last second. 2 seconds of counting. But again, they don't keep those close spawns. And they haven't read it. They haven't read it. They're not looking behind them. Now they have to funnel their way back into the point. Here comes the fight from the back. Squid finding one.
No.
Germ is there for the trade. Simpsy staying alive in the point. Still very winnable here for the side of ASG as he goes huge. It's Knock and go. He has to win his one. Storm is there for the trade. And that is going to be a GG.
We have our first guaranteed team to qualify for Nigeria. You seeing him give it to them. His old team, ASG, have booked themselves into the grand finals and also towards one step into that $30,000 cash prize pool. It is nuts what we just witnessed.
They just secured their spot to the land.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They basically not only have qualified for the grand finals, they've also booked their ticket to Nigeria's grand final. So, I mean, even if they don't come out on top in the grand final, which I'm assuming they still want to go all the way, right? This is a phenomenal showcase from them. I mean, looking at the kill feed, 49 kills on the side of Nex. Nex has also just been absolutely indomitable.
It just seems as though one player from the side of ASG is going to take like a turn of being at the top of the scoreboard, like absolutely frying in every which way. I mean, there was a nice bit of play coming from Danilo. He had that War Machine that he saved. He found 3. But again, it's sort of like they're able to make a good idea of how they want to attack a point off the back of a specialist, doesn't matter. Get the kills. Break potential's there, but then they don't ever convert and push out to make sure that they've got control around the point and maybe even looking for those spawns, because they got 5 down, they break the point, but ASG is straight back into it because they 2 seconds out, as opposed to spawning in Narnia on the other side of the map where they have to sprint literally through time zones to even get a contest to come through.
Yeah, I mean, as you say that, it just didn't seem like they had an answer as well, because in those last moments, no one checking, no one understanding just how close and begging ASG were, and towards the end they got punished. There's only so much you can do, especially with just those 2 crucial seconds needed to be able to close it out, and ultimately ASG, what a beautiful performance coming through. There were questions we were asking, will they be able to pull it off? And ultimately, towards the end, they closed it out 3-1. A map 5 not needed for them. I mean, almost had the prediction right on their own right, but
Yeah, in the same breath, it was also a good showing from Cyclone. They had a good run in the mid-map there where they really brought it back, but it just started to fall apart. The moment something doesn't go wrong. I think the real problem with Cyclone is they have a plan, or they give a call, they give a comm, and if it doesn't execute exactly right, they tend to fall apart. But when they get their breaks, when they get their setups, damn, they're a different team. They're almost impossible to break. But that's where maybe ASG is a little bit more mature, is that they're able to make those decisions on the fly and they can break when they need to, as opposed to just playing to a set sort of like cards. But 3-1 is the final score. We're going to go to a quick break as we get ready for the lower bracket finals, which is going to be Cyclone versus Spaza Shop Gaming. And if I was in the shoes of Spaza Shop, that's a pretty tough matchup, because they've just seen what they can do. They took a map off the Titans, even though they were the #1 seed. We'll see you guys. Go get yourself a drink. We'll be back right after this.
There's no way you're beating this game. You can never beat me. I've been playing since season 1. It was at this moment that I knew what I had to do. This guy, they used mythic gun play me Rihanna. I went to go and claim my own type 19, but I realized that I didn't have enough code points. But a friend reminded me of Qualifier shop, a place where I could get code points easily just by putting my player ID. Paying with a bank transfer or directly through OP or Pamply. I don't even need the dollar card. After this was done, I got the CP so fast that I got my own type 19. Now with a mythic gun in my hand, you already know it's about to go down. Moral lesson of the day: if anybody they stress you, get your CP from Qualifier shop. Let's go.
Introducing Carry First Discount Points. Your new way to save money by spending your points. It's simple. Make a purchase and earn points instantly. Watch your points grow with every purchase. Next time you shop, use your points to get discounts and save money. The more you shop, the more you save. It's a win-win. Download the Carry First Shop app today and start earning your points. Save money. Spend points.
Do you want to take your gameplay from this to this? As you can see, the only difference here is, the sniper. But don't worry about it. Qualifier shop is the fastest way to get your code points so you can buy guns like this. They are fast, reliable, you can use your OP, your Pamply, anything. Very, very simple. Instant code points straight to your account. 100% secure, no problems at all. Anybody's Qualifier shop today, let's get it. Guy, nuke shot, bust my head.
run until I barely feel my feet. Wanna see it through my own eyes. There's no going back, and I'm not afraid anymore. Cause I know I'm gonna be the last one standing. Yeah, I'm not afraid anymore. Yeah, I don't wanna wait anymore. I'm ready to fall. I'm ready to rise up. I will do what it takes. I'll run blind straight into the flames. Watch me burn, alone in the shadows. I'll carry you home on my back. If it's you or me, then I'll take the shot. Still they say I'm the villain. I scream and nobody listens. Still they say I'm the villain. Too bad you can't take me down. See that I'm surrounded by predators. It's critical, they got me in my element. It's dirty how you trying to keep it elegant. Keep my eyes open wide when everyone around me is an enemy. See my life cross my eyes. I'm ready to fall. I'm ready to rise up. I will do what it takes. If it's you or me, then I'll take the shot. Still they say I'm the villain. I scream and nobody listens. Still they say I'm the villain. Too bad you can't take me down. Too bad you can't take me down. You can't take me down. I'm ready to fall. I'm ready to rise up. I will do what it takes. I'll run blind straight into the flames. Watch me burn, alone in the shadows. I'll carry you home on my back. If it's you or me, then I'll take the
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You are tuned into the Carry First Africa Cup 2026, the Southern Africa Regional Finals. This time around, we've had our upper bracket happen. It was the team of ASG who took down Cyclone 3-1, and now they've been dropped down into the lower bracket. Now there is no opportunity for a misstep. If you're just joining us now, my name is Skara, and flanked by my side, Captain Trout. Trout, how are we feeling so far?
I think we've seen some good COD. I've seen some crazy, super nerdy angles, like wall bangs and pixel angles in the mobile games. Crazy to me. But at the end of the day, we've got some good COD happening here, and we are going to our new, I don't even know what the maps are. We're going to the lower bracket final, where Spaza Shop Gaming has been waiting to see who they were going to face. And we specifically saw that they got knocked out in a 3-1 fashion by ASG. So Cyclone maybe licking their wounds, maybe trying to boost their confidence a little bit going into this losers bracket final. But I don't know, what are your thoughts? Do you think we're going to see a straight blistering from Cyclone so they can have another shot at the side of ASG, or do you think the side of Spaza will give a good fight?
I think it's very hard to tell because the most important thing for me is how they respond in this first map, because the question is their mental shot after that at that defeat, because it seemed like ASG wanting to get into their head, they were giving it to them on the stage, and sometimes as we talk about this, it's very important that, you know, when it comes to online, things are different, but LAN, these guys can turn up and sometimes the pressure might be insurmountable. But before we get into anything else, let's take a look at Spaza's interview with me earlier on. What's happening, folks? We're here on LAN. This is the one day before the Carry First Africa Cup Southern Africa Regional Grand Finals. I'm so excited to be chatting to one of the teams as well, Spaza Gaming, the third seed coming into this. They are in the lower bracket, but they still have a fighting chance to make it to that grand final. I'm joined by Rai and Avatar, who are going to be players representing their team. Starting on your side, how are you feeling coming into this LAN, especially because you guys are on the lower bracket, but that doesn't mean you guys are down and out. You still have an opportunity to get to the grand finals, but outside of that, are you guys still feeling good coming onto LAN?
Nah, the nerves are getting, but to be honest, it is an experience for us. And as you said, we still got a chance. And we give it to all the teams, and we give it to them that we are prepared to fight for our wins. And that's what the team here came for.
And I want to ask, what's the preparation been like for the team? Have you guys been trying to go back and see what hasn't worked for you and then maybe try to refine that coming to LAN?
Yeah, somewhat like that. We've been scrimming about 3 to 4 hours every day, doing VOD sessions every afternoon or so whenever someone's free, not free. That's pretty much our preparation, just scrims and VODs.
Can the upper bracket teams be expecting something surprising from you coming through in this weekend?
Nah, definitely they will. We have something in store for them.
What is one thing you want to say to the two teams that are going to be facing you on LAN this weekend?
We hope you guys are warmed up. We came here to win, and it won't be easy for you guys.
Will not be easy indeed. I'm so excited for this challenge to come through from all of these teams, the 3 best remaining in the Southern Africa region, and we'll see who will be crowned at the top of the Carry First Africa Cup Southern Africa Regional Grand Finals come Sunday. Taking a look at the roster here, and this is going to be the lineup: Anime, Avatar, Rai, Susano, and Yellow for Spaza Gaming. But one thing to note towards the end, the mention of they won't make it easy, so I'm curious about that.
I feel like that was almost like self-admitting defeat. It's like, oh, we're not going to make it easy for you guys, but like, also the way Avatar's looking in this like screenshot and the way he was in the interview, I fear for my soul. He was trying to steal it, man.
Brother has been locked in. I have never seen anyone more locked in my life, bro.
No, he's ready. He's ready for the game. I'm curious to see what the maps are going to be. I'm not sure if they're out yet, but having a look at the roster, the only one that I truly know that I've seen play before was that of Avatar. Hey, we have pretty much the identical, except we have Tunisia and Meltdown that's different.
Yeah, we having Crossroad, Hacienda again. But for the first map, again, a repeat Summit, and then the second, Tunisia, which is going to be for our S&D. But now coming into Summit, it seemed like from the first moments in the upper bracket, the side of Cyclone didn't really have much of an answer for what came through from ASG, and now I want to see if there's going to be a bit of a rework, a bit of a readjustment in the game strategy, because there was so much disjointed plays coming through from them, and now I want to see if there's going to be a bit of a change, or maybe, you know, we don't learn from our lessons.
100%, and I think a lot of that will come from going back to the fundamentals, because yes, everyone can shoot straight, and I alluded to this earlier, but at this level, everyone shoots straight. You've got to be playing that second layer of gameplay where you've got to be thinking about rotations, you've got to be thinking about how many people there are around you, check your mini-map, count your players to make sure that you at least know how many people you should be expecting in the next chal. That's something that I saw that Cyclone really didn't do well, especially when they were rotating like long distances from P3 to P4, for instance. They just weren't able to keep track of where the enemy is. Maybe that's a bit of a comms issue. But having said that, obviously this is the losers bracket final. I think they're going to be going into this with the idea that this is sort of just a warm-up for the Grands. If I was in their shoes, that's exactly how I would look at this. But they're not going to make it easy for them. So let's hope that they actually take it to them and not just make it like slightly inconvenient.
I love how you still clung on to that idea that we're going to make it easy, we're going to make it hard for them. But we're not really going to try to.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what we're not going to make it easy for you. That seems like, okay, well, we're going to put up a fight, but
that's the best that comes from it. Hopefully not. Hopefully we do see a really good showcase, because I mean it does seem like they are potentially trying to pull something here. It's not just going to be a walkover, and I want to see some really good Call of Duty Mobile come through from these guys, because already what we witnessed in game number 1 in the upper bracket, I loved it, I enjoyed it, but now can this match that bar that has been set?
I think there's more pressure now on Cyclone to see if they can right their wrongs, because we're playing a couple of the same maps, 3 of them exactly if we run the distance. The only one that's different is going to be Tunisia and SMD, but we had a bit of a chat with the side of ASG when they in the break, and they did really hail the side of Cyclone as the best SMD team in the game right now. So I mean, they've all got their strengths, but you've got to be able to be more well-rounded than being a one-trick pony. And I think maybe the side of Sparza can capitalize on that and really take it to them in the respawns. But I've seen what they can do on S&D, especially on a map like Tunisia, because there are a lot of sniper angles. Especially around that A site, they tend to fight it out there for that first blood. But in the same breath, I feel like every single one of the S&D maps is so also built around close-range shotgun fights, like we saw around B. Yeah. It's like whoever has a shotgun who can slide the corner quicker, break the ankles, gets the kill, gets the round. But again, all pretty much semantics of the same flavor here, trying to their very best to right their wrongs. I think if we can see them rotate correctly now on Summit, because they're replaying it, maybe we see a better Cyclone team. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think you've said it perfectly. There's nothing really much to add. It's more about, will they learn from their lessons that they had to painfully learn? Because at this point in time, as you mentioned, this is the lower bracket. You can't afford a misstep. You're on thin ice at this point in time. And one slight misstep, you will be knocked out. And this is going to be the last slot available for the Southern Africa Regional Finals to be able to qualify and book your ticket to Nigeria later this year in September to be able to compete on LAN for the Grand Finals, where there's a grand total of $30,000. So much to be playing for, Charles. So much on the line.
Imagine how many phones you could buy. Like, I know this is mobile. The bros are going to be out here. They're going to have a phone for each hand, and then like an iPad so that they can play like as if they had two. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I feel like I'd flex out like that.
I mean, I hear it though. I mean, imagine you can just like put your phones on the table and then kind of just flex. How many do you have?
Yeah, exactly. And that's next level bar for bar. I have 3 phones. This is my gaming phone. This is my WhatsApp phone. This is my phoning phone. Anyway, here we go. Map number 1, Summit HP. Are we going to see history repeat itself and Cyclone get taken down, or have they righted their wrongs? Only time will tell. P1 going to be chaos, like we tend to start.
Oh, that's cute. They all have the same calling card. I love that. But we're jumping straight into the action, as already it's going to be chaos raining through, and Sparza seeming like they're giving a really good fight, but Germ cleaning house like some hand sanitizer indeed. He's found some early kills. It is going to be the side of Cyclone who have the upper hand very early. Some shots raining back, a bit of return fire, but at this point in time, Cyclone will draw the first few points and start to get that timer up.
Well, having said that, it does look like Sparza Gaming managed to stop the bleeding somewhat for a mere moment before they get taken down, as everyone from the side of Cyclone looking for that flank, looking for the 2-piece, make it 3-piece at this rate as Simsi finds his 3, and now they start looking for those spawn kills before they get set up for P2. At this point, they're looking like they're having fun, just trying to work on their aim training. Okay, Anime with a nice little break before he gets cut down, and it looks like typical P1 score range, about 20 seconds between the two teams. P2 about to pop. Who's there first? The answer is no one.
Yeah, I mean, nothing really to tell. It's just always going to be how it is. Chaotic on the first point, but I think starting to go towards this next one soon, we'll maybe see if they've started to learn a bit from their lessons that were kind of taught to them in that previous game. Right now, though, Cyclone, they're not really showcasing that sense that they were a team that were beaten just now. They're seeming like they're trying to have a bit of a statement on Showcase, but a bit of a fight here put up by Rai. Finds one kill out onto the point. But now, taking a bit up, and as I say that, instantaneously wiped off of the point.
And that's going to be off the back of some specialists and utility. You know what's happening here that I think why the score is actually as close as it is? Looking at the mini-map, the side of Cyclone's looking for kills. And that'll come back to bite them if Sparza figures out how to play. There is so much white time for an objective-based game mode. O's need to start playing for the points and not the kills, because I think they're all looking like stat padders right now. Look at 12 seconds to go, going to the next hill. Huge one-on-one to win here for the side of Sparza, as it's going to be a true, pretty much mixy battle for the spawns.
Oh, we might be seeing a bit of a punish, but
Simsi wins it.
As it seemed like there might be a moment to try and tip the skills into their favor. Sparza gets shut down. So there's going to be one held up onto the point, and unfortunately getting shut down. Cyclone starting to increase that advantage and pull ahead ever so slightly. It's looking good, 75 and counting to 14, and the side of Sparza are starting to struggle a bit here.
Yeah, I think this is where we get to see the setup and how important those P3 spawns are. Remember I said the first time we saw this team on the map, P3 spawns so key. What is Anime shooting at? He has a literal one-hit, one-kill weapon, and he's missing. It's okay, his teammates are there to pick up the pieces. They're going to find the 25 seconds of scrap as they do flip out those spawns. Looking over towards P4 now. It does look like the side of Cyclone. Again, why are we fighting old with this much of an advantage? What is happening?
I don't know, man. At this point in time, we've just become kill hungry, and it's looking like now picking up a bit of the scraps, Sparza Gaming, and then potentially on that rotate already. It's going to be the side of Cyclone, who already have made that entry onto that next point, waiting for it to activate. So it's going to be a hold coming through as Simpsy finding 3 in the kill feed, looking extremely unwavering. No one able to sway him off just yet. The retake will be happening just now, and there, the return fire to cover him. And right now, it's looking good for Cyclone as they're able to weather that storm.
Oh, they're soaking the time. They're not overextending too much. I mean, like in the previous hill, I really felt that they were fighting for peanuts. And right now, holding down the hill is going to be the side of Simpsy, keeping his streak alive before getting absolutely torched. 25 seconds again, roughly where the break came from the previous hill, as it's just back to back to back. But again, why are we chilling out of the hill? Like, I'm actually curious, because it's coming back to bite them. That's a late break from the side of Sparza, but they find the majority of time. But this game could be probably about an additional 40 points in favor of Cyclone if they just had a bit more discipline in staying in the hill as opposed to looking for fights.
Yeah, at this point in time, it feels like there might be a bit of overconfidence, which again, we've been saying, will that be coming back to bite them later on? As right now, we will be seeing them already have control of the next hill, but it's all about can they find something, as there's going to be a bit of a pinch situation. Only one player raining shots, trying to potentially sway this back into the favor of Cyclone. And right now they're able to deal with the players, and that's going to be Cyclone on the hill, taking as many points as possible. And right now trying to get that retake situation happen. It's just raining through. It's not working for Sparza as they're able to hold themselves onto the point. Germ able to find a kill. Yellow was taken out, tried to conjure something, and it doesn't work. And ultimately Cyclone running riot.
Running right, weathering the storm, but Sparza Gaming now able to get a bit of a contest in the latter stages of this hill, about 15 seconds before they get taken out. I mean, Simpsy's having a monumental performance currently. I believe he is leading the lobby at 28, indeed, with the bell in hand. And it's hard for me to critique the side of Sparza because it feels as though they are doing the correct things, but they're getting caught a lot in rotation, especially now. They managed to find a couple of these kills, but every single time that it looks like they might have had a good break or a longer break than 10, 15 seconds, somebody from the side of Cyclone breaks in, like now. Simpsy and Logan going back to back. We get to... Whoa. Rai with the War Machine able to make it a bit mixy, but not able to find enough kills to convert the hill. As I say, that Caster's Curse is in. The spawns as crazy as always. Looks like it is going to be number 2. Number 3 could have been playing for spawns, but opts to run back and fight the mid-map as Simpsy finds himself 2 to break the hill wide open. Does have the Death Machine in hand now to maybe secure a bit more of a lead. 100 points now between these two teams. Streaks now called. Logan finding the double, and we have to start thinking about the next set of hills. What are we doing in P4 when P3 is about to pop?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm really confused with what is going on right now. It's seeming like they're still trying to hold it down. They've already gone to the next point, the next hill essentially, and not really trying to contest for the scraps that are left over. Sparza Gaming trying to opt to maybe try and see if they can get a head start, but it's going to be Cyclone who are on the first step, on the precipice of increasing that advantage and potentially closing out aim number 1. Simpsy and Germ finding kills. Really good utility from Simpsy, able to get 2 on that frag grenade. And then we'll be having that Weathered Storm come through. Will they be able to find a way onto the hill? Cyclone and Yellow holding it down for the team. And Cyclone are really looking good at this point in time. It's been so difficult to sway them every single time they've got control of the hill.
I actually like this play from Logan as he's looking for a quad fit. He finds exactly that, pushes the players out even further. They manage to keep the spawns for a second, but here comes the potential for a pinch at 25 seconds. We get to see the spawns flip now in favor of Sparza, and they have to try and, again, fighting for these peanuts. But we have 17 seconds. Scrap time will be going their way, and the side of Cyclone can sort of lick their wounds and go to next, and that's exactly what they've done. They've sort of trying to secure those spawns. But they have a couple of seconds here to reset. Avatar on the mid-map, able to find one, maybe looking for a second? Not quite. Simpsy's there to cut him down. Simpsy leading the lobby again, 42. Actually, it's Logan with 43. It's a race between the two, as it is who can find the most kills in the most awkward positions for the side of Cyclone as the next hill pops and they find the first bit of time.
Yeah, I feel like at this point it's kind of been a bit of stat padding between these two, just absolutely running riot in this lobby. But now, this has been the biggest problem for Sparza Gaming, is they haven't been able to sway the control from Cyclone Gaming every time they've got onto the hill. The War Machine trying to be a bit of an equalizer. We're trying to see if they maybe can get onto this next hill, and seeming like we might have a bit of admission. Shots raining through. They finally have at least a bit of a hole somewhat, and there we're starting to see some signs of life, as early on, every single time we'd see Cyclone on a hill, they weren't able to sway them off, but now, finally, they have a grasp in this game.
Well, have you, as you say, that Germ finds 3 with the claw, and here comes the War Machine. But I do agree with you. The side of Sparza did a very good job of at least breaking the spawns with the specialist utilization. English is difficult. But with 3 seconds to count, we're going to our third set of rotations right now. It is only 29 seconds needed for the side of Cyclone. And if they can find it on P1, that is quite the task. But it starts with 1 good set of kills. Germ finds 2. Now waiting in the wings is going to be Nundy, helping out his teammates. The kills continue to rain here for the side of Cyclone. Every single player now extending a little bit too far potentially as Nundy. Turns out that Harikiri isn't a lot of fun as he takes himself out by some miracle. But the kill feed still blue. 18 seconds of counting. But here comes the Tempest. And it's going to be Susanu, I think, finding himself 3 before getting taken down by Nundy. But they are in the point. But for how long is the question?
For how long indeed, as can they weather the storm? Can they keep it alive? Right now, points are taking up for the side of Cyclone. All they need is 12 more on the point. They can still get it all from this hill, but it is going to be an absolute slugfest towards the end of this hill. Will they be able to hold it out? As right now the retake happens, they're able to sway them off of the points, and that is going to be Sparza keeping things alive. They're able to get the last bits of scrap on this hill, but the next one is going to be do or die. Will this be the last roll of the dice for Sparza Gaming, or will it be a moment of a comeback, as right now Germ and Simpsy not allowing any of that to happen? They have control of the hill, they have control of this game, and now it is only a matter of time until they close it out. Cyclone Gaming battling their ghosts and able to face them as they get the first won in this one.
I just want to point out that from the sort of player cam point of view there, they did not look very happy. They won, they did, and it was good. They had some good plays, got a lot of kills, but still, it's so odd to me that they're making these sort of like, and this is going to piss off a lot of people, ranked plays where they look for the kills instead of actually playing the game, and that is probably why they got picked apart by ASG, is because, again, go for your 2s, not your 3s, but every single opportunity, I mean, looking at these stats here, we got Logan with 49 and Simpsy with 57, playing cuts like a legend. He does at least have a good amount of time, but no one really running away with point time. Maybe we could argue that Jerm was the one to do it, but it just felt like there wasn't enough pressure in the hill for consistency in terms of building more than 35 seconds at a time for the side of Cyclone. They still won. Great stuff.
But the thing is, it's actually important. I'm actually glad that you mentioned that, because one thing to note is this is a moment where how you play can really dictate how you go in this competition. You can't really be sitting down and telling yourself, you know what, we're happy with that performance. We're happy with sometimes throwing out a bit of time for the opponent to maybe catch up, because if this is a story to tell going into the grand finals, if they are able to edge it over the line, you're going to be facing a team of ASG where if you're allowing for them to try and maybe pick up of those scraps, it's not going to be a good time for you. You're going to be chasing ghosts. And right now, as you can see, Cyclone, as you said, they're not too happy with that, and you shouldn't be. You shouldn't. If there's moments where you could have fully dominated it, you want to see that more. You don't want to be seeing a team just scraping by, or they made it through, but there's still questions that are being asked of them.
100%. Having said that, we're going to their best game mode, so we can pick apart their HP all day, but their S&D is very difficult to critique.
Yeah.
But they've got a bit of momentum behind them now. We're going over to Tunisia, which is a slightly different one, which was Coastal previously. I don't know. I want to see Logan with that sniper again. I want to see him handing out fresh fades and
please.
maybe some lead grills. Those are always good to see. And he got a couple of 1v2s as well, if I'm not mistaken. So right now, pressure's on Sparza, actually, as they're already down one hill, or one map, rather, not hill. Can they answer back against a very, very potent Cyclone team in terms of S&D?
It's scary, man, because as you said, we had this conversation just before this game started, and the chat has been, this team Cyclone, when it comes to S&D, they are ruthless. And I mean, we saw it ourselves. It didn't seem like the side of ASG had the full counter and answer. Yes, you saw some signs of life, moments here and there, but it wasn't fully enough. It wasn't definitive to say, yeah, no, you know, we got this. We got them figured out. And right now, Sparza are coming into this against a team where they were able to take one off of ASG in S&D. Can they sway them? Can they take them down? As you say, it is going to be a different map. We're going to be on Tunisia, but it is now important to see, can you shake off that first map, and can you come into the second one and try and dominate?
Well, you're going to have to, especially with a team that's as confident as Cyclone in S&D. Here we go. First round underway. Bomb in hands of Cyclone.
Yeah, and already we're seeing a lot of utility thrown towards A side. It's seeming like there's going to be a lot more action there. And right now, we're here with Anime, holding that angle, and there's going to be two positioned onto B, and there's one lurk situated. Simpsy's going to find first blood. It's going to be return fire. Anime is going to take down Logan this time. So Logan getting a bit of a taste of his own medicine and instantaneously flipping the map, going towards B. It's seeming like now they have an idea of where they want to go. Avatar's going to find one. Holding the angle, looking, poking, prodding, and he sees one. Oh, no ways! Giving the Mike Tyson special. Simpsy takes down Avatar, and now we are put into a 2 versus 3. Sparza Gaming looking to hold it down.
Well, they've given up the site, so the bomb will be going down. So they've actually, technically speaking, it's a 2 versus 4. Wall banging everything, and remember, you've probably got 100 rounds in the mag, looking for the kill, but Anime finds a quick 2-piece. Now it's a 1v2 for Germ, finds the first. Now, it turns out that you need your knees to run, and he was taking those out with a shotgun. Now, Yellow left in a 1v1. Oh, a little bit of a bait. But you know what they say, fakes don't pro.
Yep, and he's holding, not being swayed. Oh, the timing!
I told you, fakes don't pro. If he stuck it, he could have diffused.
Pros don't fake, and unfortunately,
no,
faked it out.
Fakes don't pro.
I know, but I wanted to do the. Why don't you just let me
I'm sorry. That's on me. Okay, I take it back. Let's hear your quip.
I don't want to. It's redundant now. I don't want to say it anymore.
Oh, man. Running the gauntlet of nades is going to be the side of SG, but they actually lose one to it. Daniello, straight to the point, gets the bomb down. Simpsy getting aggressive with that LMG in hand. Bomb now planted. It's a 4v3. Almost a repeat of the previous round with one extra player checking their corner. Daniello. Wow. Now, 1 or 2v, well, make it a 1v0v. I couldn't even keep up with it, as eventually the pistol is going to draw the final blood. 2 rounds to the way of Cyclone.
Yeah, a bit of a guns blazing approach, and this time around just being a lot more certain with that. And Cyclone closing out yet another round, and we're starting to see exactly why there has been chat of this team being exceptionally good when it comes to S&D. They've closed out 2 rounds already. The target is still 9, so opportunity to have things equaled out. But for now, a rain of utility all throughout A side. We're seeing the rotate happen, but they're almost going deep into their spawn right now. It's going to be a kill found, 2 trades in the kill feed. It's going to be a 3 versus 3. Trades on equal ends. Avatar takes down Simpsy. Bomb goes down. And now it's Operation Retake. That's right. Now Spaza Gaming looking to find those angles. Not going to allow for that to happen. Yellow takes down Daniello. Try to say that 1,000 times.
But
Right.
Nandi and Logan. And Logan again with the boomstick, handing out fresh haircuts, and it's going to be the 4th round in a row for the side of Cyclone.
Yeah, it's really looking good from them. And there was a bit of worry at certain points in time, because it seems like, you know, Spaza maybe had a bit of an upper hand, but I mean, the moments that we've seen from these Cyclone teams, Cyclone players rather, it's just been exceptional. Right now, it seems like the strategy is working to a T. Seems like there's going to be a bit of action down mid, but as I say that, they need to back away.
Oh, well, Logan finds the first blood with the sniper again. What's changed? Oh, nice little pre-fire, unable to get the connection. And again, we are here with the wall bangs, and we saw it earlier, Simpsy now on the rotational flank gets 1, and all of a sudden it's a 3 versus 5, bearing in mind that we have seen a switch.
Okay! What?
Yo, we need to check his phone right now. Anime actually trades it out, though, from 4v3.
Yeah, we put into a, or rather 3v3 actually now. Players are falling in the kill feed. Logan finding yet another one in the kill feed. Look at this guy's, okay, we're breaking ankles. Daniello! Get yourself drafted into the NBA, brother. That was absolutely filthy.
There's no way. He was like literally one shot, a breath away from death, and he gave him the 1-2. Sold him down the river, got the kill, the turn and burn, whatever you want to call it. We'll see you on Twitter.
Oh no, that's definitely getting clipped and shipped onto TikTok. I apologize. But we're now going to swap sides. What can we see come through as shots are raining down? Going for the wall bang, there's not going to be anyone there to spot out. And right now, you're seeing a bit of action and animation towards the B, but then one player getting a bit overzealous. Will we be able to spot him out? And he's going to get taken down. Trying to go on the lurk, absolutely shut down. And Cyclone have the advantage, but as I say that, 3 versus 3, they found the trade in the kill feed. It seemed like they have an idea of where they want to end. Right now, slowly going up. There's going to be a timing potentially. Rains down that fire, finds the kill, spotted out. Simpsy swooping in to try and equal things out. And Rai, the last one, standing!
Oh, it got close. There was a second there where he almost gets that snap, but the double child, a bit difficult to win if you found your first and the other person's shooting at you. Either way, a lot closer of a round than what we're used to from the Cyclone side. But having said that, they are still 5 up.
Yeah, it's still looking quite comfortable for the side of Cyclone. Right now, they're 5-2 good and just utility raining down. They've just bulldozed their way onto this B. And it's going to have to be a full side retake already, just almost 5 seconds, 10 seconds into this round. And already they've made their way here. Logan trying to go exploring, finds one. Can't find the second, but opting to maybe find a different angle. Is going to get spotted by Simpsy on the lurk. A really good kill, takes down Anime, put in a 1v4, and that is going to be Daniello to clean out the round. 6-0, not a single response inside so far.
They're playing very well. I mean, we spoke about the S&D, and why don't they have this kind of map control in HP, man?
Right?
That's crazy to me.
And the discipline as well. Like, I just don't get it. It's like there's just an entirely different team when it comes to HP. But right now, we're seeing once again the guns blazing approach and just the spam through the smoke, able to find one. And then Nandi just absolutely deletes 2 from the server.
Man, the aggression from the side of Cyclones to just absolutely bully their way onto the point, get the bomb down is unmatched. Having said that, they have to be ready for this flank potentially. But it is still a 4 versus 3. Yellow with a good read, but it turns out that a shotgun beats an AR at close range. Now it's a 2 versus 4.
That's so unfortunate. The snap able to find the kill in the last moment. He tried to go for a knife, didn't he?
I thought so.
But Nandi able to take down Avatar, and it's going to be a 3 versus 1. And this is, or rather 4 versus 1, apologies. And this has kind of just been the story to tell. Did he just jiggle peek that corner?
We're throwing shoulders. We're throwing shoulders with 11 seconds. Oh, man, just playing with their food. 7 straight rounds now for the side of Cyclone. And you can see the confidence is starting to build. And again, it's hard. It's like, I don't want to critique the S&D. They're playing very well. They're overextending. Like, maybe at the end there was just like playing with their food, sure, but there was enough time that they had the cushion for it.
Yeah, but I mean, at this point in time, we've been seeing a lot more clinical play from them. They have so much, I guess, a lot of, what's the word? More structure when it comes to things, right? It's just been working so much better. And even with their progressive approaches, the gun blazing, it's always been meticulous.
Yeah, but I think that goes back to if they have a plan and they can execute it, it works. But at the moment, there's a bit of a spanner. Then they struggle. Having said that, here comes the first set of trades. Logan finds one with the sniper before being traded. Avatar, long-range shots, not able to get the kill though. Still get to see them fight it out here. But unlike before, there hasn't been a straight attack to a certain site. Oh, as I say that, Rai was last alive on A. He gets taken down. Now that site control bomb should be going down.
Yep, bomb can just go down easy as you like. 4 versus 1 once again. And it is spelling doom for Spaza Gaming, as they're going to potentially edge closer towards that second map win. Logan finding the last kill of the round to make it 8 in a row.
So what happens if you get clean swept? Like if it's a 9-0, do these guys have to like run around with their shirts off? Like what's the story here?
Surely there has to be like a little letter of apology.
Yeah, like surely there's got to be some kind of like a fine at the very least.
You know, like just apologizing for, you know, even showing up. No, we're joking. But
no, I'm joking.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay, Charter's maybe not joking. Yeah. But we're back in it again, and only 1 round away from closing out map number 2 in a dominant fashion. Right now, Cyclone holding those angles and is looking very good at this point in time, as they've just been insane on this map. They haven't really had an answer, Spaza. It seemed like there's been moments where they've been put in those 1v1, 1v2 situations, but even then, it still felt like Cyclone was still comfortable.
100%. There's the first of the trades to come through. 4v4. And if you're looking at your minimap, the side of Spaza is continuously getting pushed further and further back into a corner. Although, if you push an animal into a corner, it tends to bite, and that's exactly what Rai did there. He finds the first to get themselves out of a sticky situation, but it is still a 3 versus 4. So man count advantage now for the side of Spaza. Will this be their first round? Anime gets some good timing, finds one. Oh, and he knows the other one is close by, and he wins it. Thank goodness for that. Now it's Germ left in a 1 versus 5. He finds the first. Oh, I thought he was going to get it. Yeah, well, that's the first round, so no need for a fine. They at least get the condolence round.
Ooh. I was about to say, at least they don't have to write a letter of apology. Yeah. But you know what? It's fine. We'll go back into it again. And once again, back into a point where all they need is 1 more to close it out. Some teams tend to capitulate as soon as they get to this point, but...
Oh, I like that word. That's a good word. That's a good word. I like that word. Capitulate. I'm going to use that in my next one.
I read the dictionary sometimes.
You a thesaurus enjoyer?
You know what I'm saying? Right. I tend to enjoy my encyclopedia every now and then.
Oh, I like that. I like that. You're so eloquently spoken, Sky. Right, either way, the first blood has been drawn, and it was Simpsy who was taken down. Bomb yet to go down as well. Germ now waiting in the wings to see if he can, again, free knee removal with the shotgun around B, if you're wondering.
Yeah, and as quick as the round started, it instantaneously just goes quiet. But as I say that, slowly looking for a way to maybe go towards B-side. Still a bit of presence here to maybe sell a fake, and able to find a couple of kills, but it's going to be returned They still found an opening, though. They were at least able to pull them off of the side. And right now, Logan does not matter. He'll still find a way to bulldoze back onto it.
That denied the plant as well. That was fantastic.
That is really good coming through from Logan. Set into a 2v3. It's not looking good if you're the side of Spaza. They're going to have the angle. Spots one, spots the second. He can't connect the shots. Few tags here and there, but it doesn't confirm. Logan has been lethal, has been brutal, hasn't found the first shot. It's going to go astray.
Well, he knows he has to get the bomb
He
down.
knows where he is. But Logan gets shut down.
Well, that was a good answer back there. They knew where he was coming from, and I like the Chal. No fear often results in a good round. And right now, 2 in a row for the side of Spaza. Maybe a bit of signs of life, or a few signs of life, rather. See if they can replicate it once more. Straight over towards utility. We're running to throw things, and then we wait. Oh, and Germ finds the first blood. He said hold that.
Yeah, a little bit of a Kobe action, and finds one in the kill feed. And right now it's going to be a man advantage for Cyclone. So right now, they're not really opting to go forward. Some tags happening, but nothing too much to worry about. Again, it's almost always just action from the first 10 seconds, and then it's just a pause, waiting for someone to overstep, and we might be seeing that happen right now as he's
nice
going to find the kill. Rai gets Nandi. Now we're seeing potentially a bit of a resurgence, as right now we're seeing a bit more of a composed, controlled, and structured Spaza Gaming.
It's almost like white line fever for the side of Cyclones. They've gotten so close, but what's the falter, right? Maybe it is just a change of pace from the side of Spaza, where they're really trying to pick their battles as best as possible. Well, unfortunately, Yellow Charles a little bit wrongly there. Simsy finds 2 by some miracle. And now a life count advantage already up by 2 for the side of Cyclone, and I like this. I like this. They know where the bomb should be, and they know where they should be attacking from. But Avatar, he is poised in the perfect position to get God tier timing. It's actually going to be Rai who finds 1, 2 versus 3.
Oh, and that's beautiful, because that allows for the rotate straight out onto B. But to try and maybe see if there's any action, everything just paused once again, and Rai, or rather Avatar, is going to get spotted out. Simsy closing it out. And the hesitation didn't work. I mean,
I just know for a fact that he's yelling in his mic, what are you still doing there?
We had an idea. It was open. Why are we not calling for the rotate?
Simpson's sitting there, he's like, no, they're never going to expect me in this corner, bro. Bro turns the corner and he's like, I know for a fact that he was angry after that death. Either way, 2 straight maps now for the side of Cyclone, and is it to be expected in the S&D? Absolutely. But a good couple of rounds, by a couple I mean exactly 2 from the side of Spaza. But now they have a different game mode on the horizon, on a different map, but we've seen it before. Will they be able to come back into this? But Logan, double digits. Well, 3 people on the side of Cyclone there with double digits. Great stuff. Unfortunately, Yellow having a bit of a slow on 4 on the left. Oh, never mind. Susano, 1 and 10. Might need to find his hands.
Yeah, no, that one is not too good. It was a bit of a rough one, but I felt like Spaza started to wake up towards the latter stages of the S&D map, but I felt like it was too little too late.
If he had 2 kills, I would have been like, the reason they won those rounds because he got 2 kills, like 1 round each.
But almost a missed opportunity. So unfortunate. And now it is going to be Cyclone on map point, and all they need is 1 more crossroad. We're heading towards control there. Can they close it out in a 3-0 swift fashion? Or will we see Spaza have a bit more life and resurgence and push us to Hacienda?
It's possible. We got to see the side of ASG sort of like dominate this crossroads map.
Yeah.
But in the same breath, we saw Cyclone absolutely lock in the 5v10, at least securing themselves 1 zone, 3 ticks. But we need to see that for the whole map.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's maybe where the side of Spaza can capitalize a little bit, is hoping for an overstep from the side of Cyclone. But they're going to have to really sort of tighten their knots, make sure that they're ready for this fight, because this is do or die for them. And if they go down here, they go home. I don't know what third prize is, but surely they can buy at least like 20-piece chicken nuggets on the way home. Like, I don't what
like a little consolation, maybe?
Yeah, maybe they can stop MacD's from McFlurry. That sounds good.
You know how much McFlurry is?
Probably more than what they're going to earn like
That's the point. That's
Okay,
what
my
I'm
bad.
saying.
Yeah, my bad. They can go
Okay,
get
maybe
like
they can share.
Wilson's toffee.
Yes.
Yeah, now we're talking.
Yes. But once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us now, we're heading into map number 3 of our lower bracket final. We have Cyclone Gaming taking on Spaza Gaming, and this is going to be a do or die moment as Spaza, this is their last chance to potentially keep things alive and push it even further. They have to now make it a clean sweep if they want to go towards that grand final and book their ticket. Because remember, there's only one spot remaining and instantaneously just trophy system disintegrated.
Well, good start here for the side of Spaza as they find 4 before attacking a point, and they have a 4-life advantage. But Nandi was there to stop the bleeding momentarily. He finds 2. But again, this map, absolute chaos because it is relatively small, right? You can get back into the action almost instantly. But now B, point of contention here for the side of Cyclone as they have a couple of bodies on the hill, able to, at the very least, I was going to say secure the first tick, but not quite. But Germ and Cyclone go huge. Germ and Nandi go huge there. They find another 4 for themselves. Onto B we go, 20v20. And Nandi with 3 in a row, now looking for a couple of spawn kills.
Yeah, it's looking good at this point in time as they're going to be 2 lives to the good, but knowing control, that can disintegrate in an instant. Finding the kill on the points, and right now they've got the first tick, closing in on that second on B already. So the domination so far has been really good. Good control, good strategy so far from Cyclone, and they're edging closer to completing B already fairly early on, and the shots are raining down, the kills are mounting, and slowly but surely Cyclone, they already captured B.
They've added a minute to the clock. They have a 3-life advantage, so now SG really needs to sort of lock in here, and they've done exactly that. They need to keep these players away from A, as far away from A as possible. And they're looking to force a back right spawn here, and it might actually work out for them. If they get a couple of these kills to work out in their favor, it's just Daniela who is pushed up with the help of Simpsy, but he gets taken down. So now a 2-life advantage for the side of Spaza, but it's going to be Nandi who answers back with a 2-piece of his own. And now a 6v6, 1 respawn apiece, make it a 5v6. And Daniela is now pushing into the spawn with the help of Nandi now, and this is where it starts to get very dire. 2v6, and now 1v6.
Yeah,
Susanoo, unfortunate, that's going to be woes shall continue. First round going the way of Cyclone.
All falls down, so unfortunate, ever so close, but there was such a good strategy coming through in the first round for Cyclone, able to capture B, and then it allowed for a lot more ease. There were a lot of fights coming through, and as we say, it's quite a small map, so as soon as you die, you just back straight into the fray. And right now, it's going to be Spaza who again open up with a 4-kill. But we saw this in the previous round. Can they keep this momentum and build off of this?
Well, it's a fantastic start. Their break-offs are very clearly well practiced, but they need to be able to keep it going for a little bit longer. Having said that, they have a couple of bodies on A, just keeping those choke points as contested as possible. Winning it out in the end is going to be the side of Spaza for a second before Simpsy and Germ go back-to-back. And here we get to see the Death Machine in the spawn having fun. He knows where they're spawning, bro. He's actively watching them spawn.
Oh, that is so rough. What a spawn trap coming through, and that sways the lives in the favor of Cyclone. They're going to be 5 lives advantage, make that, well, actually 5, yes. And right now, it's going to be 1 tick afforded on A for Spaza, so there is somewhat control, but as I say that, they're not making it any easier to try and capture it. Right now, the cavalry is arriving, and they're just surrounded right now.
And they're getting these spawn kills one after the other. Yellow looking to find someone, but this is where things get a bit tiresome because you're trying to get out of spawn, meanwhile splitting your resources to try and capture a point and keep your head in a swivel to make sure that you know where everyone is. Right now it's Avatar left in a 1v12 up Crap Creek without a paddle, and that's going to be the side of Cyclone. 2 straight rounds.
Yeah, no, that was just clinical. Absolutely beautiful stuff. And as you say, it was so difficult just first of all to get out of your spawn, trying to use a utility, but then keeping your head on a swivel, not knowing where to look. It was just an absolute shooting range in their own spawn.
Yeah, and they got them into the, like, literally watching them operate is so tough. But we get to see early specialist utilization here from the side of, well, both teams actually. We get to see the, I think it's called the Annihilator. Yes, the Annihilator finds 2 before getting taken down. 26 to 28, slight life account advantage to the side of Spaza, and they continue to run it through, but they are looking to replicate exactly what happened to them in terms of putting the side of Cyclone in a bit of a spawn trap.
But this is the problem, though. This is what we've seen so many times from them. We have this early domination, we have the early pressure, and then somewhere, somehow, in the midway through, they just absolutely fall apart. Right now, though, it's looking good, but as I say that, from what seemed like a 6-life advantage, that has been cut in half. Still, they have the advantage. Nothing has been captured just yet, not a single tick. But Spaza Gaming, for the first time, are looking a lot better from the opening round.
And they're looking to replicate the spawn trap, like I said. But they need to be able to, I don't know, split their resources maybe a little bit more effectively, because if you're fighting in the spawns continuously, if there's one gap, they're going to push right through, and that's exactly what happens right now. Almost like I can see the future. 3 will fall, 10v14, and they're continuing a couple of these kills and looking to do exactly the opposite.
Oh my gosh!
Normally you get to see the spawn trap on defense, but on attack it does look like the side of Cyclone have really set up something quite devious in the spawn, as Germ now with the claw. Before it was the death machine, trying to keep it as mixy as possible. Having said that, it is only 1 life between the two teams. 19 seconds. I suppose they realized that they needed to get onto a point. But a 3v7, 1v7, that's going to be a Jeej.
And that will be game. That is going to be a full, clean sweep. 3-0. Nothing more needs to be said. What a dominant showcase coming from Cyclone Gaming. And will this be something for ASG to worry about, as now we have finally confirmed our 2 teams that will be heading to represent the Southern Africa region in Nigeria. Later on this year, it is going to be ASG and Cyclone Gaming. But we know no love lost between these 2 teams. They don't really like each other too much. So, despite
and it's the rematch. We get to see maybe now there might be a bit of a difference because the side of Cyclone has had a couple more reps under the belt. But it is all thrown out the window as we're going to our grand finals, which is going to be a best of 7 with a map count advantage to the side of ASG. So don't go anywhere too far. Go get yourself some refreshments. We'll be right back for the grand finals.
There's no way I'm beating this game. You can never beat me. I've been playing since season 1. It was at this moment that I knew what I had to do. This guy, they used mythic gun play me Rihanna. I went to go and claim my own type 19, but I realized that I didn't have enough code points. But his friend reminded me of Qualifier shop, a place where I could get code points easily just by putting my player ID. Paying with a bank transfer or directly through OPay or Pamply. I don't even need the dollar card. After this was done, I got the CP so fast and I got my own type 19. Now with a mythic gun in my hand, you already know it's about to go down. Moral lesson of the day: if anybody they stress you, get your CP from Qualifier shop. Let's go.
Introducing Carry First discount point.
For one last time, welcome back to the stream. You are tuned into the Carry First Africa Cup Southern Africa Regional Finals. It is finally at that point, the end of the road, the grand finals on the horizon. If you're just joining us now, I go by the name of Skara, and by my side, Captain Trout. We have been carrying through all this action, and finally, we have reached the pinnacle of this event.
And together we are Sprout.
No. We're doing so well.
We're doing so good. I agree, but I agree with you in the fact that we are all the way to the end of, at the very least, the Southern Africa Championship, right? Because there's still a lot more CODM to come. Because if we're not mistaken, we have secured 2 teams that will be going to land in Nigeria.
Yeah, most definitely. So the 2 teams that are in this grand final have already booked themselves in that grand final. Now it is playing for the prize here at land, and it's also paying for those bragging rights, because if you were here earlier, you know these 2 teams do not have the best history between each other, and it's been very indicative on the stage. But outside of that, let's go into more detail. If you're just joining us now as well and you want to know all about what is happening, this is the Carry First Africa Cup. This is where the best of the best all around Africa competes to see who is the best team, who has bragging rights when it comes to Call of Duty Mobile. We've had our West Africa qualifiers happen and the regional finals. North Africa happened. Southern Africa now is the one. And next on the calendar next week, we have an East Africa finals happening in Kenya, Nairobi, where we'll only unfortunately have 1 slot there. But one team will be the one to come out on top. If you haven't already, make sure you head on over to the Call of Duty Mobile Africa socials. Check out where you're able to also purchase tickets, because those are going to be going live soon. So we want to be seeing you coming through if you are in the Kenya region. And outside of that, if you're also on socials, make sure you're using hashtag #CarryFirstAfricaCup, and make sure you are covering as much of the content as possible as things are happening, because it has been an amazing day.
I mean, we've seen some absolute clip farming, we've seen some stat padding, we've seen some teams do not so good, we've seen some teams do really good. It's been an up and down ride, and just as you saw there a second ago, $30,000 up for grabs in that grand finals. It is also going to be a LAN. The East Africa finals in Nairobi is going to be a LAN, and I believe it's going to be Eugene who should be covering that. I could be wrong, but there's going to be some good talent on board there as well. And don't forget to be using the special code right now on the Carry First shop to buy yourself some COD points. Maybe you can get yourself one of them good old-fashioned mythic skins. Give yourself the advantage, even if it is a placebo. It's still pretty good, right?
Hey, something is something. You get something at the end of the day. And also, if you are in the chat right now, we will be starting a prediction poll. We want to see, who do you guys think is going to come out on top? Chat, you guys have been active throughout, but we want to see more of you coming through, coming to life, engaging more with us, because honestly, we've been having so much fun witnessing all this action. But we want to make sure if you guys have been locked in, if you have also been locked into all of the action that has unfolded, and maybe some of you guys are some analysts and you have an idea of how things are going to play out. So also in the chat right now, I want you guys to spam, what do you think is going to be the score prediction going into this one? Because
let's have a look.
My side, I'm keen to see how this turns out. With the map advantage, we will be seeing ASG come in 1-0 immediately, but that doesn't mean it is impossible for Cyclone to come back. Unfortunately also, I want to see, it doesn't seem like they're making calls just yet, and already I'm looking at the prediction poll. ASG are going to be the ones who have a bit of favor with regards to the votes in the chat, so it's seeming like there's a bit of belief. 3-0 coming through in the chat. So 4-0, guys, is there no belief that there's going to be, you know, a two-sided affair?
Yo, that's kind of crazy. Whoever said that? I just saw a comment about the casters. That's hilarious. That is really funny. Either way, yes, going back to the actual game at hand here, it is looking like ASG has got the favor and then some. But I don't know. I think that there is the potential. And we have the maps and modes here. So, of course, it is going to be a map advantage to the side of ASG Sam. That comment is that's a 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. That is meme worthy right there. Okay, different map to start us off on P1, which is going, well, game 1 rather, is Combine. And then Coastal we've already seen.
Yeah.
Crossroads again.
Once again.
Hacienda. Raid I like for Control.
Raid, yeah.
Control. And then Tunisia. So we actually only seeing 2 new maps, that being Raid and Combine. So
The first time we actually casted, that's where I got to see Raid as well. So I'm very excited. That's a bit of a run there.
Yeah. Damn. Just clocking the memory in there. Just making...
Of course, I'm going to remember it. It's a special time for me, okay?
The debut of Sprout. I like that.
Can you forget that? If anyone in the chat uses that, I will make sure. I can't do anything, but it's fine. We are getting ready for game number 1. If you're just joining us once again, this is the grand final, a best of 7. ASG did best Cyclone Gaming in the upper bracket final, so they do have a map advantage. So that means it currently is sitting 1-0. That means they only need to win out 3 maps to close out this victory. But on the other side of Cyclone, it has to be picture perfect if it does get to a point of them going down by 2. And I think that kind of can play a bit into your head sometimes, because
absolutely,
you know, you're getting to this stage where any slight misstep can really affect you.
I just want to see them do well in respawn, man. Like that's where, in my opinion, they've been faltering the most. Their S&D is really good at the moment, but they need to start locking down a couple of the fundamentals. We always talk about how rotations we're going to go back to. We're going to overextending and spawn control. I mean, we could literally write an entire list of things that need to change, but at the end of the day, they got to figure out within themselves how much trust they have. Because again, it's just going to keep coming back to that more than once, if they're giving a comm 3 or 4 players, maybe even the whole team's turning around, as opposed to just one player to pick up the flank, or to potentially give maybe a little bit of an overextend. It's like minuscule mistakes are costing them quite greatly.
And I think that's my biggest question for them now coming into this HP, because you actually touched on it a little bit earlier, was there's just not enough that we're seeing where it's convincing that they can show up against ASG, because there were moments where we did see them go a bit ahead, they had that hold, and then at some point it just falls apart, and then the team comes through for the scraps. But now you're facing a team of ASG where scraps doesn't work for them, and 9 times out of 10 it was Cyclone being the ones chasing to try and get points, trying to pick up those scraps. So in this one, I'm interested to see if we've maybe seen some lessons learned, or will it be same thing that we kind of witnessed? Will we be seeing deja vu from the first upper bracket map? And this is going to be our lineup going into the grand final for Cyclone.
Well, damn, if it changed between the
that would be insane. Imagine they had a
super sub right there.
Super sub randomly popping in.
But yes, so standard Danilo, Germ, Logan, Nundi, and Simpsy, and then on the side of ASG, go ahead and pronounce that for me.
I don't even know if that's how you actually pronounce it.
There's no way. Okay. So I think it's Awa. If I maybe
I'll have to ask them in the winner interview, because I'm very interested.
The winner interview is crazy. Yo.
Hey, I'm just saying that was just maybe in case.
Okay.
Maybe I might have cursed them, who knows. But I think I actually like that, because now that's going to motivate Cyclone, meaning we're going to get better COD M, meaning we might be seeing a map 7. You see, it's me.
Okay, listen.
No,
wait,
listen.
I need to straighten the record here. Don't ever go to the casino with Scar, because he's going to make you broke. He's going to make you broke.
Don't you believe in me?
No,
come on, listen.
This time for sure. This time for sure.
You need to listen to the mental strategy, because right now what I've done, right, is Cyclone have been put into this mindset that I just said the other team is going to win, meaning they're going to have to prove me wrong, meaning they're going to step up their game, and then meaning we might potentially be seeing a map number 7.
Bro, who are you convincing, me or you? Because at this stage it sounds like you're trying to convince yourself.
Listen,
I respect it.
It makes sense in my head.
Okay, 100%. But maybe a bit of reverse psychology on top of reverse psychology is the play here.
Yeah.
We are getting into the game very shortly, guys. You only have to listen to us yap for a little bit longer before we getting into, what was the first map again? Combine.
Combine, yes. And this has been something I have wanted to know, is have they refined themselves coming into this hardpoint map? Because I haven't really been seeing enough. Yes, we saw some dominant performances come through from them against Spaza, but it kind of felt like they did have that upper edge over the team, and I want to see more proactivity from them, because the Cyclone team has a lot of talent. They have what it takes to take it to ASG, and I want to be seeing more of a fight. I don't want to be seeing time and time again where there's disjointed play. We're seeing players now going through in a 1v1 1v2 retake, and they just constantly just keep feeding the side of ASG. I want to see something a bit more unison. I want to see structure.
Maybe even like something as simple as waiting an extra second before you chow, because if you have the ability to at least have tradability, right?
Yeah.
If there's somebody there to pick up your trade the moment you go down, maybe that turns the tide at least 5 times out of 6 in this game, but it's so difficult. And of course we're really picking at the semantics here, but again, it is for $30,000 brought to you by Carry First. So I mean, I'd be picking apart every single possible error myself if I was playing like those weird like aliens with holding the phone, you know what I'm saying?
I still don't understand sometimes how they're able to do that. Some guys are alive. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we are finally kicking off with the first map of our grand finals. We're on Combine, and already early on, it is going to be the side of ASG getting taken down. And some early action and early presence. Cyclone are looking good so far. It's going to be double contested, but ASG actually are finding a way through. And now it is going to be them to have the upper hand. There's still one challenging on the point and then taken out. And the ticks can start to come through for ASG.
Well, they managed to keep this one as messy as possible, making sure that they didn't have to fight too hard for the scraps. Or rather, it's not even scraps here. They found the majority of the meal on this P1, but they have to start thinking about those P2 spawns. As you can see, the entire side of Cyclone now spawning in, getting ready for this first wave to try and break the mark here. 10 seconds left. We're going to see that rotation come through. All eyes on number 4. It's going to be none other than Storm trying his best to work his way, maybe even worm his way into the spawns. Good timing, he finds the first, but he gets traded. So the spawn's still secured now for the side of Cyclone. But they are yet to hold off the push from the front. It's just Logan, but Logan alone is not enough.
It's just been so dominant coming through from ASG. They're able to find a kill there. Simsi finds one of the kill feed. Nandi as well, equal to 1. Storm finds a trade, but it doesn't seem like it's enough to sway them off of the point. Right now, holding the hill. Cyclone, it's looking better, but the utility and the retake has come to play, and it works to perfection. They have the hill once again, and again, we're seeing Cyclone put into a position where they're chasing ghosts. Right now, still able to keep it a close affair, and they're able to get back. But as I say that, instantaneously ASG have such a really good retake. Every single time it's seeming like the advantage is swaying towards Cyclone, they're just able to just tip them off of that hill. And right now swaying it back to their advantage. Cyclone seeming like they have a bit of an answer. They've just opted to go for next ASG this time around. And again, we're seeing this getting the scraps time and time again, and we're seeing shades from the first game.
I would agree with you, except I do think that was a semi-decent hold there from the side of Cyclone. They kept the spawns for the majority of it, but now they need to start thinking about all of the specialists that would have been accumulated in this time. As you can see, there's already 2 that have been popped from the side of ASG, but Toxic is the last man alive. He now has the Sparrow in hand, getting a couple more of these kills. Germ with the Claw, finds 2. Daniela following it up now with a War Machine of his own, and that may be the break when they need it most, not quite.
Oh, this is looking good now. Finally, Cyclone, some signs of life. They're going to get onto the hill to try and challenge it. And this is what we want to be seeing. Logan going on an absolute tear. Couldn't convert on the 4th, but has done enough for Cyclone. And right now, at least getting those techs up, and this is what we want to see. I'm happy that we're finally seeing a close affair between these 2 titans of a team. And right now, it is going to be Cyclone on the point, but rather Storm maybe has something to say. Next point has been revealed, and already we're going to be Cyclone heading towards that. And this time around, we're going to be seeing Cyclone a bit closer in affair. It's only going to be about 15 behind, but they can slowly but surely close that gap. ASG not allowing that to happen, though. Is going to be closely contesting this, and right now it's going to be ASG trying to take this hill.
They're going to have to break from the mid as the spawns here are as parallel as they get. On the point, though, a lot of utility now being thrown. Eventually, some of the players from the side of ASG managed to kick their way in. FBI open up, if you will. Germ last man up, but he gets taken down. Now next, close and personal. Good hold, good break, but still about 30 seconds between these 2 teams. not nearly as one-sided as we used to seeing from this ASG side. But again, that could be due to the size of this map, that you don't have to run kilometers to try to get back into the game. But right now, good hold, 14 seconds, scrap time going the way of ASG. Licking their wounds will be the side of Cyclone as they decide to get ready and try to get set up on next, even though they have 1 or 2 players fighting for old. Second set of rotations about to come through.
Yeah, it seemed like for a moment Cyclone finally had their foot back into this, but in an instant just flipping the script, and right now ASG finding every answer to the questions being asked of them. They're able to at least get the advantage for now. No one will be able to challenge on the hill, but as I say that, ASG almost got onto it, but eviscerated from the lobby, but they're back on it once again, taken down. We're going to see kills raining in the kill feed. It's raining yellow right now. Squid with the equalizer, only good for 1. Nandi, good for 2 in the kill feed. Trophy system thrown, instantaneously getting on to the point, and Germ finding 2. But is that enough to sway them off the point? It's still not enough. Squid is back again. The cavalry has arrived. And yet again, it seems like Cyclone are finally getting a grip onto the game. ASG shut them down.
But much like the first set of rotations, they haven't secured those back spawns, that being ASG. They will find the majority of time on P1, which is great. They've now pretty much extended their lead to 100 points, but they have to start thinking, this being Cyclone now, that they need to start holding for a little bit longer than 30 seconds, maybe even a full 60 might put them within spitting distance, back up to about 120. But here comes the push from the side. Good start though, weathering the storm. They managed to save their specialists to at least buy them a couple of extra seconds. As you can see, Simpsy pushing out forwards, finding 1 before getting taken down. Ooh. But luckily Daniello with the war machine in hand, and now it's going to be on the back of a streak as well. Simpsy finding a few more. Daniela now challenging out of the point before getting taken down from some nades. But Logan, again, playing to their strengths, making sure that they have more than 1 player for the trade, as well as a bit of utility. Unfortunately, no trophy system to help them out there, but a fantastic hold nonetheless. Cyclone managing to find more than 20 seconds before the break, and they continue their hold before there is, I was going to say a break, but not quite. Logan going huge, finding 2 for himself.
This has been such a good hold coming through from Cyclone, and I'm happy to see a lot more proactivity from them. Really good play coming through from Daniello as well, finding kills in the kill feed with that war machine, able to somewhat sway this back into the advantage of Cyclone. It's still not fully closed up, but that lead is cut in half, and now it's looking a lot better. Heading towards the next hill, it will be the side of ASG that have the first few ticks, but will they weather the storm? So far it's looking good as Tox is going to find 2 in the kill feed. Simpsy finds 1. Daniello there with the nade is going to find 1. Equally to boot, finding another, but Nandi going absolutely nuclear right now, finding 2, potentially a 3rd, but it's going to get shut down as Squid and Toxic find their way back onto the hill. He has the equalizer in hand, it's going to get shut down. Logan is taken out, and then they're just finding them now in spawn.
Absolutely blessed with those spawns. Well read, gets the couple of kills off the back end, and this is exactly where things started to change in terms of momentum for the side of ASG, as they managed to break in here. Even though they've got taken out and put into a bit of a spawn trap, they've brought it back, looking towards the next hill. It is going to be the side of Cyclone there first, but down 80, they're going to have to pull the rabbit out of the hat in this one, and it's not looking good as the rotational kills still working out now for the side of ASG. Couple of streaks, couple of specialists. This is where they have to start gritting their teeth, weathering that storm. And again, not the best of starts here for the side of Cyclone, as ASG flying forwards, Narc looking for 4. The claw reaping its rewards.
Absolutely filthy coming through. Narc finding 3 in the kill feed. And right now ASG are slowly but surely running away with this one. Ooh, trying to find some shots, gonna get a few tags, but won't get the confirmation. Now some streaks getting called in. Won't be able to find anything. Nandi and Logan finding kills in the kill feed here. There's still some fight left here for Cyclone. It's not over just yet, but at this point in time, it's looking quite difficult as the side of ASG have had an iron fist ruled on this map. It's been so difficult for them every which way they've been. And right now, ASG looking to close this one out. It won't be closed out on this hill, so there's still opportunity to keep this going.
We're going to, at the very least see the third P1 in this match. Simpsy, though, needs some help. Currently leading the lobby at 44. It's just Squid behind him at 43, but we get to see a few more of those specialists being utilized now. And eventually the kill feed lights up blue, except for Next, but he gets taken down. Now Logan with the equalizer in hand, bearing in mind that the EMP streak has been popped, so no more HUD for the side of ASG as they try to break back into this point. Break back into this point they shall do. Storm with the death machine in hand finds a couple. Logan holding down the fort. 5 seconds and counting. It's realistically one more push from the side of Cyclone. If they get taken down over the back of Toxic's massive 3-piece, now he has the specialist for some salt in the wound.
Oh, you can see him giving it to them. And right now, the disappointment in the faces of Cyclone. ASG closing out hardpoint again. It is going to be 2-0 to start us off. I mean, taking a look at these highlights, I mean, there was fights coming through from Cyclone. There were moments where it seemed like they finally were trying to, you know, get themselves back into this. They had the idea. It just seemed like ultimately ASG were just online.
Yeah, and I think it is more spreading out the stats across the entire roster of ASG, whereas it really felt like Logan was there a couple of times, but looking at the stats here, someone needed to help Simpsy at 46. Closest gem was 34, and that was Germ. I thought Logan had some breakout plays, but overall, super negative. And on the other side, every single one of them bar one positive, and I think that is exactly the difference, right? They managed to sort of spread the load as opposed to relying on one or two players, where Cyclone really is tending to do that.
And again, this is what I've been speaking about and what I was worried about for Cyclone, is it again feels like there's just moments of individual brilliance that they're relying on. We want to be seeing something a little bit more in unity. As we're seeing on the other side, we're seeing a team where all the stats are a lot more balanced. Everything is spread out across. But when we look at Cyclone, as you say, only one person sitting on 46, Simpsy at the top of the leaderboard. He has been a standout already for Cyclone. But I mean, it's not enough if constantly what we're going to be seeing is only one player showing up. I mean, that was Hardpoint. We have seen that they are very good when it does come to S&D. But now they're going to be 2 maps down, and it is a best of 7. So only 2 more to close it out for ASG.
And we're going to the same map, right? We're going back to Coastal, which is exactly where they won it in, I think it was 9-3, if I'm not mistaken. 9-2,
yes,
9-3.
9-3, yeah.
But now that they've played the map, it is definitely still Cyclone's pick, and I'm pretty sure I heard the ASG guys saying that this is their worst map, so I imagine they're going to try and capitalize that being Cyclone. But they need to start finding these respawn wins, because if they can't convert them realistically, they're just going to get taken down every single time. They can win their S&Ds, great, but if you're losing 3 in a row, or even 2, it's so tough. Anyways, here we go. S&D on the horizon. It is going to be the side of Cyclone versus ASG now on Coastal.
Finally loading into the next map, and if you're just joining us right now, you are tuned into the Carry First Africa Cup Southern Africa Regional Grand Finals. The final 2 teams remaining in the region, they have already qualified for Nigeria, but they're playing for that land win right now. And at this point in time, it is ASG who have a 2 advantage. They are 2-0 up in this series, and all they need is 2 more to close it out. But they have been battling their demons. It's been very difficult to rather sway the side of Cyclone when it comes to S&D and the action. Nandi finding 2 on the sides, and it's going to be put into a 2 versus 3. And it's not looking too good very early on already for ASG.
Well, they're yet to get the bomb down, but there is still a good amount of time to work with here. But you can see it just feels like the side of Cyclone knows how to play S&D. It's like they're S&D warriors, and I respect that.
Yeah.
As they seem to wrap it up going over towards B, they're going to be able to get the bomb down for free. Oh, nice little pre-fight to make sure. Bomb now planted, and it is going to be a true 2 versus 3 retake here.
Yeah, and right now, okay, he just finds him through the wall, okay? That's going to be now a 1v3. Storm also tagged up, having to wait. Now back up to optimal HP to work with. 3 versus 1, as mentioned. Not going to be good, trying to isolate the fights. He spotted out, knows where they are, but can't really do too much as Cyclone close out the first round in S&D.
Squid is stressing. He's giving comms, he's wiping his hands, got a little bit of the clammy hands there, but it's his first land and he's putting up a performance. So great stuff there from the new guys on the roster, especially for ASG. But yet to find their first S&D win, at least that we've witnessed. And the aggression coming out of the gate met with nothing as they actually made a good read to find space, and that's about it. Okay. Yeah. I eat my words.
Yeah. Next, finding Logan in the kill feed. And that's going to be put in a early 4v5 Cyclone. Something to think about right now, but it doesn't seem like it swayed them one bit. Just being as patient as possible, waiting for that overstep. Right now, it's seeming like they're actually rather trying to see if the side of ASG are going to play into them. Because right now, see the bomb slowly making its way through mid and then trying to maybe sell a bit of action. But actually, it's seeming like Simpsy maybe is trying to eye a push into spawn.
Just trying to figure out, probing at their defense to see if they can find a workaround and maybe even a gap to get through. But again, under a minute to work with now, the pressure beginning to mount, and they're going to have to start finding, or at least making decisions as to which way they want to go. Smoking off mid, maybe a bit of a red herring there, as it looks like B, well and truly, well and truly in the sights. Oh, the timing, so good for Squid.
Oh, that was beautiful from Squid. He finds Daniello, trying to rain some shots, but it won't be enough. Can't spot out anyone. It pauses once again, but they're all going to be there, prying, waiting, looking. Takes a shot. Not going to find the tags. And a nasty shot from Nandi. Finds one. Finally, the bomb can go down, but Toxic maybe has something to say. He's only good for one. He's going to get traded out by Nandi. 3 versus 2. Bomb has still not gone down yet. Finally, the plant comes through. And he's going to get spotted out. See some shots raining down. He's baiting for his teammate. And a really good retake coming through from ASG.
Just making some noise, opening that door so they can get the pinch to come on through. Great stuff there from the side of ASG. 1 round apiece. Very different start than what we're used to with the side of Cyclone.
Yeah, I mean, what we've always been seeing is a lot of dominance coming through, but maybe this is just a testament of showing a bit of your cards too early and maybe trying to understand how can we rework what's not been working for us in that first encounter. And right now, maybe too early to tell, but it seems like they have a bit of an answer. But we're seeing so much aggression come through, and this is not what you want to be seeing. Daniello finding a quick 3K and also a bit of BM to boot.
And I respect that BM because he was sitting in a common corner. It might work out in the end, but they've opted to default. It feels like a bit of a Valorant default strat where you throw the bomb down and see where you can find a bit of an opening. They've done exactly that. Well, not quite, sort of vice versa. But now time will tell if they are able to find even more of a potential break here. Still, battle for B continues. And time, it just feels like it's bleeding at this point and no one's really willing to take that first step, initiate the first fight.
Yeah, and I mean, right now we do have a high-low setup on B, so
they try to break some ankles, got the shot off, but again, in that 1v2, you have to force the ones, not able to do it as his team eventually, well, the team of Cyclone eventually collapsed on him. 4-2 is the score. Remember, it's first to 9.
First to 9 indeed, and only 5 rounds remaining to be able to close this out, but 5 rounds is a ways away. So there's still so much action to come through, and Storm raining down havoc, finding 2 kills. He was eventually fine. All they need to do is try and hold it down, but time and time again, we've seen what Simpsy has done. We've seen how he's able to deliver for the Cyclone team. Can he do it yet again here for them? Put in this 2v1. The crossfire is there. He's trying to bait out the shots. The aggression is there, but they're able to close it out where it seemed very dicey.
I thought for a second there that he was going to chill out and they were not ready for it, get a couple of kills, but Simpsy not able to ice up in the end, as it is going to be 3 apiece now, or 3-4 to the side of Cyclone with a slight edge. But ASG definitely in this game in every way, shape and form. Looks like the battle for mid will continue, but Storm, again, a menace on the map in terms of first bloods. I think out of the last 4 rounds, he's found at least 3 first bloods.
Yeah, and it's looking a lot better. I think I also like this as well. They're taking a lot of space, denying that sort of map control that has been coming through from Cyclone, because a lot of the time it's been seeming like they had so much to dictate with regards to where they can go, but now so much space afforded for the side of ASG. But as I say that now, one player falls down next, a bit overzealous, gets taken down, but it's still going to be a one-man advantage. Bomb still sat in spawn again. It doesn't seem like they have a full idea of where they want to go, but seeming like they're opting to go towards A.
Well, they've just picked up the bomb and they need to figure out if they can find at least a kill for the opening, and Simpsy's going to convert it that way. That was actually in mid. Still quite a lot of indecisiveness, but Toxic with the shotgun finds a beautiful jump shot there. Now it's a 2 versus 3 bomb yet to go down. 55 seconds to work with Nandi and Simpsy. These guys have been the stat lords of the game. Now will they be able to convert their first 2 versus 3?
I mean, ultimately, if Simpsy's still alive, it's almost like a 3 versus 3. It's been absolutely insane for the Cyclone team. Right now, holding it down. The shots are raining through. Oh my god! Takes his ankles and Storm cleans out Nandi. What is that? Filthy! ASG! Close out that fourth and they equal it out. They beat their first score in the upper bracket, and now it's actually looking like they can take it to them.
Absolutely. I mean, that was such a 50-50 gunfight. If you believe.
And right now, ASG one man down. Cyclone, it's looking a lot better for them. It's been very shaky. It's been seeing moments of ASG having an idea of what's been working and how to counter it. But as I say that, Logan not landing the shots that he's been landing today. It's given an opportunity. They're getting oh so closer. And Storm takes down Germ. The plant will be coming through ASG. Now just need a play post. The players having to retake. And at this point in time, it's going to be scary. There is going to be an isolated fight, but the trade is going to be there. 2 versus 2 in this retake.
2v2 indeed. 30 seconds to work with here. You can see the pressure on the shoulders of Cyclone as they need to try and find an opening. Logan finds 1, Logan finds 2, as it is going to be the clutch, and they had just enough time. So it looks like the retake pretty good there for the side of Cyclone, eventually converting the round and securing the lead once more.
Yeah, it's looking a lot better from Cyclone. It seems like they were swayed quite a bit, and that momentum started to shift in the favor of ASG. But Cyclone have a bit of a response. Now, back in the lead once again, 5-4. Only 4 more to close this one out. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, this is map number 2 of this grand final. 2-0 at the moment to ASG, as they did have a map advantage winning from the upper brackets. But right now, Cyclone trying to take it to them, trying to push it even further, as 2 kills are found in the kill feed for Cyclone, and ASG on the back foot once again in this round.
Yeah, 3v5. This is going to be a bit of a monumental clutch, if you will. And Nandi makes it a 2 versus 5 as they are beginning to show a lot more map presence than compared to the previous rounds. And Squid finds himself in a 1v5. Now, this would be the ultimate clip farming moment if he manages to clutch up. But he needs good timing, and that's not going to come through for him, as it was a flawless round for Cyclone. And they are now 2 rounds in the lead.
Yeah, and at this point in time, it's seeming like Cyclone now have found their footing a bit. It seemed a bit like they got a bit shaken, but right now, they're building themselves back into that lead, sitting 2 to the good. But right now, it is going to be a guns blazing affair, as Toxic gonna find 1. Simpsy finds 2 in the kill feed, returns fire! Simpsy goes nuclear and gets 4 in the kill feed.
Perfect execution, aggression was there. I don't think the side of ASG was ready for that kind of fire, as Simpsy gets 4 for himself. Insane shots. I thought the turn and burn was there for a second from Narc, but not able to convert the kill, and now 2 rounds away from closing out this SD Cyclone Gaming.
It's looking a whole lot better here from Cyclone. There was a bit of questions asked. Can they get themselves back into this? Have they been swayed with their confidence? But not one bit. They are looking really good at this point in time. And it's shaky as Daniello finds 2. ASG are now reeling for scraps. Daniello finding a 3rd. And Germ finds a kill in the corner. It's only going to be 1 left. This is going to have to be An insane clutch, but you're not going to be clutching if you're missing those ones. And Logan closing out the round.
Nice little shot there in the end, breaking ankles, movement on point. 1 round away now from at least finding their first map in this grand finals. Oh,
Yeah. Ooh, there's going to be pause coming through. I think it might be a bit of a tech pause, potentially. Yeah, so it does seem like there is going to be a tech pause at this point in time, as there needs to be something sorted out for the players on stage. So it's just more of us talking. If you're just joining again, we still have our grand finals kicking, or not really kicking off, but underway.
We've been going.
We've been going. We've been going. It's been fun. And I want to see in the chat right now, if you're just joining us, who are you supporting and who do you want to see come out on top? It is currently AESG taking on the side of Cyclone Gaming. Who do you think is going to be the ones to come out on top? Because right now, I mean, from what I see, I really can't tell, because Cyclone are also showing really great signs of life on S&D, but I mean, we know this.
yeah, well, S&D is their game mode, right? We've got to be thinking a little bit further than that. Like, what's the control looking like? What's the control looking like? I feel like I was getting subliminal messages from somebody in the crowd.
Oh.
But we're going to wait and see what the poll's looking like. But okay, poll's looking a lot closer than I was thinking, actually.
Yeah.
That's not bad. That's 62 to 38.
I don't know about close, though, but I mean, fairly.
Almost 50%.
Almost is a stretch. That is a heavy stretch.
12%.
That's a lot. Okay, you know what? Numbers are not our best suit. It's fine.
Our best suit? I can math. That's crazy.
Okay, to be fair, I'm bad at gambling. He's bad at math. It's fine. Doesn't
We make a
matter.
great team. We would be insane. We got production in our ears saying, don't gamble.
Do not
All right,
gamble at
guys,
all.
we are going to be getting back into this game as soon as we get feedback, as we know what the pause was about. What do you think?
Not too sure. Maybe someone disconnected from the internet.
Someone's phone overheated, bro. Then you'll get those little fans, you know.
I actually hear that, though. That actually sounds like a more logical explanation.
Aren't these guys like the best? Surely they've got like the best phones. Like they've got like a 50,000 rand gaming PC equivalent phone. Surely.
I feel like someone potentially just as that one guy playing on a random Samsung E250.
The guy that's on the potato PC. You know what I'm saying? You're waiting to load into your game, and you know there's one person. Okay, we're gonna cut to a quick break here, guys. We'll be right back as soon as we figure out what's wrong with the tech.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You are tuned into the Carry First Africa Cup Southern Africa Regional Finals. This is the Grand Finals. ASG taking on Cyclone Esports. Currently 2-0 to ASG, and we're still now going to be on our S&D map. There was a bit of an audio issue on stage. That's been sorted. We're back in it. Let's get it going.
Straight into the round. They're only one round away now for the side of Cyclone to force, at the very least, the next two maps. Shot in the wind, not able to connect, but that may be a bit of posturing, like I said a bit earlier. No one really taking control, but having said that, it looks like ASG has thrown caution to the wind, and they shall fly towards A, finding 2 for a 1 trade. But Logan is there to answer back quick enough. 3v3.
They equal it out once again. This time around, Blunt comes... Oh, Blunt denied. Oh, absolutely taken out, but giving haircuts equally. Next. Takes down one. Nade is there, but who blinks first is the question.
Well, he has to pick up the bomb, so at this point, his eyes are tearing up. Looking for the wide angle. I respect this. You can see the side of Cyclops backing up a little bit, showing a bit of respect here. But the timing has to be perfect. Okay, he knows who one of them is. Pre-fire.
Oh, he doesn't have the read.
Hitmarker.
Oh, this is so rough. He doesn't have the read. This time around.
Maybe.
Oh. It out, and they're not going to sway one bit. Right now, slowly easing away. He has the time to rotate. Seeming like he's going to just carry it all the way, but actually maybe trying to catch someone out potentially. Nope, slowly easing his way. And no one can spot him out. But it's still scary. He still has no info. I don't think he has an idea that both players were sat towards the spawn. Right now, clearing corners, clearing everything. He's just hard clearing it all. But at least the plant will not be contested. It can go down, but he's not out of the woods yet. It is a 2 versus 1. Time and time again, we've been seeing these guys show up. Nandi has been on an absolute tear for Cyclone Esports. Can he continue it on, or will we be seeing Nex be the one?
The timing.
So unfortunate, but wait. Hold the phone. He spots him out. He knows where he is. He baits the shot. Wants him to come closer. Next! Where it seemed like all was lost, he clutches it out in the 2 versus 1.
That was crazy. He hard cleared the entire site, got the bomb down, almost had the worst COD timing ever, but he converted the round in the end, looking to thread the needle once more. Looking for Logan now. It's going to be a battle of the scopes. But it's actually Nark who finds that first blood.
Yeah, finding that first blood. And Logan immediately returning fire. But regardless of that, the plant will go down. And it is going to be onto them to be able to try and make this retake happen. 3 players going to be coming through towards spawn, and 1 potentially trying to chell. And there's going to be Nex who wins out the isolated duel. Nandi goes down. And now potential for them to increase their rather chances of closing this gap that has been created. And coming on, it is going to be Danielo who finds a kill. Logan as well is good for 1. But into a 2v2 where it is a 4 versus 2 immediately. Now it's looking like there might be potential for them to get themselves back. He can't find the shot. He finds 1! He finds the second!
But
Logan!
No time. But no time to defuse.
That is so unfortunate.
I respect the passion. That was insane shots. But kudos to ASG. They played that perfectly. Despite being able to make lightning strike twice, not enough time to get the defuse. And now 2 rounds away from forcing overtime is going to be ASG. Great stuff coming out from the boys in blue.
That is so gut-wrenching. Oh, ever so close. And now it's looking like momentum slowly starting to shift in the favor of ASG. Can they pick it up? Can they slowly but surely inch their way forward round by round? They find yet another one in the kill feed. Nandi goes down, put into a 3 versus 4. And now opting for that default, trying to maybe catch one of these players out who maybe might be a bit too antsy. At this point in time, there's been a lot of patience and discipline coming through, but the read, they don't have it. They're all rotating towards A.
Oh, it's good old-fashioned, where are you not? Maybe the perfect read. Actually, this timing might be insane.
This is going to be nuts. Germ, he's good for one. Can he get the second? He's not able to. And that is going to be a kill confirmed. Logan was caught one of the players out that were lurking. Plants can go down, but it's going to be a 2 versus 3. Can Lightning strike twice in this round? It is going to be put into a 2v2 now. Opportunity is looking good. If you are Cyclone Esports, all of a sudden, on equal footing, but we've seen how these rounds can go. We've seen how these guys close out these rounds. It is going to be scary. Trying to hard clear everything. The quick scope does not work. Nog takes down Logan, and Nog doubles it up. Takes them down. And that is going to be yet another round afforded. Round by round, they are building this back up. And all of a sudden, from a 4-round lead, we're back to just 1.
And the next round is going to be forcing overtime, which is win by 2. And now aggression again, straight to the point we go, and that has opened the door wide open as they know that there is a player at the very least quite weak. It's going to be Nog who gets the ball rolling. First blood now drawn, A completely caught in the crosshairs. Yet to get the bomb down, but looking for a happy wall bang. Not able to find it, but damage dealt. Bomb yet to go down.
The hair follicles just getting missed, and again, that spray through, not able to find its target fully. Germ finds one in the kill feed. They have an idea of where he may be, but not budging. Next is going to take down Logan. Storm has the read, has an idea. Simpsy takes down 2, takes down 3, and now it's going to be the last one remaining, and Nandi cleans them up, and that is going to be the round win. What a way to close out our S&D map.
Man, oh man, they were starting to sweat bullets. Cyclone managed to clutch up in the end, proving that they are the S&D kings at this stage. But it was looking a little bit shaky, but in the end it comes down to a good coordinated push. I think it was Nandi who found a 2-piece there, and Simpsy as well. Back-to-back doubles. Enough for them to kick that door down. It is currently 2-1. I don't know if this is a blessing or a curse for the side of Cyclone, but we're going to 2 respawns now.
Yeah, I'm excited to see this. I'm really excited. And one thing that I kind of also want to take a look at now, on the other side, we're starting to see things, a bit more balanced, a bit more structured, but as you said, this is only S&D, so it's still not indicative of them maybe working on what's not fully been refined in the other maps, or rather game modes. Now the question is begged, can they sort of get themselves out of that funk that they have been in pretty much since the grand finals? When it's hard points, when it's respawn control, it's not been working for them, right?
They just don't have the same kind of map presence that they do in S&D, and that's really showing through. I mean, Simpsy's had some insane plays where he get to 3 pieces even in the hard point, but again, man alone against an army is very, very difficult to convert. But we're going over to Crossroads. We haven't seen a different control map. Unless we go to Raid, it's going to remain that way. But right now, ASG going back to what they know best, which is devious spawn traps. But we've also seen the side of Cyclone really lock in on this map as well, where they came back in that 5v10. But let's just see if they can make history repeat itself, or will they be like England and have extra help? I'm joking. All right, here we go.
We're back in it again, and let's see if they've learned from their mistakes of the past. Can they get themselves on equal maps? Right now, it is going to be ASG who find the early aggression, find the early kills, and it's going to be them who afford the advantage very early on, and it's looking good at this point in time, as already we're seeing that map presence come through from ASG.
ASG trading it out with a 4-count advantage in terms of lives, but they are on defense and they are looking to drive home that spawn trap that we spoke about. Daniello fighting for his life in the spawns. He does eventually find 2 with the help of his teammates, but Storm making it as mixy as possible. Man, I would not want to be fighting through smoke, looking for players, trying to split your head as best as possible, but you can see it is just the game plan of ASG right now is to bleed that life count advantage further and further away from Cyclone, making sure that they can't even step foot towards these 2 sites.
Yep, and right now it's looking a whole lot better for the side of Cyclone, but as I say that, getting taken down, and still no ticks have been afforded yet. And as I say that, Cyclone gonna get the first one on B confirmed. Let's see if they're able to hold. At this point in time, it's just looking like ASG are just all over them, everywhere on the map. They've been struggling to just get out of their spawn, and again, right now, we're seeing shades of what we saw in the upper bracket final.
14v4, and every single kill is resulted with a trade. So even if they go down a few lives here, 6 seconds to work with, they have to get onto a point, and ASG know it as they start to see these players funnel, and that's going to be the clock. That is the final undoing. First round going the way of ASG.
Yeah, ASG looking good so far on control, but I mean, this has been the story time and time again. We've seen this come through from them, but this is also what I'm worried about for Cyclone, is we're not seeing enough from them. The map presence, I guess, maybe is also a bit difficult to counter, because every single time ASG has just been all over them, but very early on, this time around, they find the advantage on kills. But as I say that, return fire coming through, we're seeing Germ is going to be able to find one, but going to get taken down. Squid finding one in the and getting caught timing there, unfortunately turning at the wrong time. Next as well, it's looking good, but this point in time, it's looking like the side of ASG again mounting that pressure from either side. They're finally finding something in the kill feed. Daniello finally bit of resurgence here from Cyclone, but the first tick on B already captured.
They've just got under a minute to work with now, and they're trying to fight their way out of the spawn, that being ASG. It does look like the team that has defense tends to get the spawn trap set up quite quickly, but it does look like the kills on the second resurgence here are working out for the side of ASG, as we get to see Toxic in the spawn doesn't find much other than one. But that is enough for them to secure the second tick on B, extending their lead in terms of ticks even further. But only a 2 life advantage now for the side of ASG, make it a 0 life advantage, as you can see. Cyclone beginning to find their groove, find their kills, keeping them backed up in their spawn. Simpsy now leading the charge with the help of his teammates before getting taken down. Over towards B we go. Now, looking to cap their first point is going to be the side of ASG.
Yeah, some really good proactivity coming through from Cyclone, but as I say that, ASG now have the answer. Squid with the equalizer, finds one in the kill feed, and instantaneously pushing back the hold that was afforded on Cyclone. And oh my goodness, Squid takes down 3, spots out yet another one, going on an absolute tear. Is that trying to 360 no scoping? But anyways, but still, it's looking so good. 1-11, where it seemed like Cyclone finally had the answer. They had a hold, they had an idea. It just fell apart, and now we're on map point, or rather match point, rather. Sorry, and it's looking like ASG might be clinching this one so far with just how well they've answered all the questions that come their way.
100%. And again, maybe that just comes down to one clean sweep from the side of ASG. They got through the defense, and then they started setting up a spawn trap on the other side of the planet, it felt like. But we get to see a couple of streaks now being called out, and specialists from both sides. Germ trying to make it as difficult as possible as to get out of the spawn, but Narc on the other end is doing the exact same thing. 2 lives between these two teams now, but Storm and Toxic going back to back respectively, just keeping the side of Cyclone in the spawns as they continue on their tear, just working their way towards more specialists, more difficulty, but 2 players will now fall, and over towards A we go.
Yeah, but this is, I mean, something I'm a bit worried about, because I've seen this from Cyclone. It's been looking good. They have the hold, but then at some point, somewhere it falls apart. Let's see this keep on going. Let's see this momentum continue to build. Right now, it's looking like they have the idea. It's working. They're sticking to it. Daniello and Logan finding kills on the kill feed. Really good stuff coming through from Logan. Spotting out another player. It's going to be a hit marker. Spotted out, and Logan filthy with the shots. And 18-7. This is the signs of life we want to be seeing coming through from Cyclone.
Yes, I was going to say 100%, but then they got broken on A, but they've done enough damage to secure B, and they have a 15 life count advantage. Well, 11 now, make it 11 again. But still, 1 minute and 30 seconds to work with here. This is a serious ask from the boys over in ASG, but not impossible. They just have to play the clock and their lives. Look for the doubles, make sure they are tradable, but it's got to be Jeremy gets that ball rolling. Storm is there to make it at least a little bit more contestable, but again, that life count deficit's so big that it is, it has to be perfect control here. With the heads-up play, he might have just done the Lord's work here. Simpsy again finding a few more. 9v2, 1v9, not really possible. Logan, a man on a mission, but he has to stop that point from being captured. Gets the timing to give away his own position. But it looks like they're not even trying to cap the point. It just looks like they're playing whack-a-mole at this point.
Yeah, I know. Storm, you're good, but John Wick good to be able to take down 9 is not going to be possible. So that is finally going to be one on the board for the side of Cyclone, and I believe that actually is going to be their first on control against the side of ASG.
But it's maybe a bit of a silver lining for them in that sense. They find their first round, but sort of the less silver lining is now they're on attack again, and we know how intense this respawn well, not this respawn, the spawn trap can be. Squid finding a double there. There was a nice opener from the nade, but it's going to be a collateral from Nex, who cuts them down, and the kill feed lights up green as the first push stopped dead in its tracks, and straight over towards B we go for the boys in blue, and they are looking to drive it home.
It is looking so much better here for ASG, and they are really on an absolute tear. They've already got the first tech out onto B, also working up on A as well, so good a hold thus far. But on the other side, we're seeing Cyclone show a bit of fight coming back. Logan finding 2 equal to Sims. He has 1, and that is going to be returned fire coming through from Nex. And either side not giving an inch, not giving any breathing room whatsoever. We'll be seeing the drone strike coming through. Won't find anyone, but at this point in time, it is looking equal in somewhat a sense. But as I say that now, Cyclone, they're looking to find a bit more control in the map. It seems like now a pinch has been created towards the side of ASG spawn.
So that life count deficit, which was so massive in the beginning, has been cut down to just 1. And with 40 seconds to work with, it's going to be Squid's equalizer that may be the opener. Ooh. Having said that, Logan's getting some crispy shots here as well. 7v7, 30 seconds to work with, and the spawn trap continues.
Oh my goodness, Logan!
Cooking!
Gone absolutely nuclear! He's not stopping! Logan! Indomitable on this side, holding down. And this, from what seemed like almost an equal fight just 2 seconds ago, they've equaled it out. Logan on an absolute tear. Monstrous from him.
Absolute specialist v specialist, but Logan's snappy shots just too powerful. With the sniper or with the equalizer, it doesn't matter. He is able to drive home the kills when they're needed most. Having said that, this is now, cannot go any further in this control. Good start from both sides. 1 count advantage for the side of Cyclone as they start to stack B here. They have to figure out if it is worth their time to continue to push it, and they shall do so with prowess, as they still have at the very least found their first tick on B.
Yeah, it's looking so much better here from Cyclone, and really a better fight coming through. At this point in time, the early pressure and control is coming for their favor. 2 ticks out onto B. They have a lot better of an idea how ASG have been maneuvering around this map, and right now, it's looking so much better from them.
100%. This is looking like the comeback that they needed. It is now a 6 life count advantage. B secured, a minute added to the clock. All of a sudden, this game is turned on its head, and ASG beginning to feel the pressure here as a different team from the side of Cyclone has awoken.
Yeah, it's looking so much better. I really like to see it. Some kills raining down. The War Machine looking for more. Daniello looking so good. Finding 2 in the kill feed. It's going to get taken down. Finally shut down. And at this point in time, it's going to be 8-17. It is not looking too good whatsoever. And it is looking like we are heading to yet another map. And we're going to be equaled out 3-15 and counting. Right now, they're not giving up a fight, But 2-14, I mean, the numbers are not looking good. It is very, very difficult. You're going to have to play picture-perfect control. And at the moment, giving up a fight, but it's going to be a one-man army against an entire infantry. Can he keep it alive?
Well, this would be crazy.
It would have to be, but there we go. A lot more animation on stage, and now we have equaled it out 2 apiece on our maps. And all of a sudden, now it's seeming like we might go all the way.
100%. I mean, that was 2-0 down where they brought it back, and something changed. Like, they just figured out, they sort of pulled themselves towards themselves. Maybe they figured out that they need their hands to play the video game in Respawn, and they've done exactly that. Got the spawn kills. I mean, Logan with an absolute pop-off play there. And now it is 2 apiece. This is the grand final that everyone was expecting. It is still 0-0, if anyone's wondering.
I mean, this is what we want to be expecting from these two teams. They are the best of the best at the top of their game in the Southern Africa region. And right now, we're seeing that in spades. These guys have been phenomenal. But taking a look, this time around, this is the spread we wanted to see. Everyone coming to the party for Cyclone Esports.
I mean, Squid having an absolutely crazy game himself. But on the other side of things, Next, who's been so takeover, especially with that sniper in hand, had a bit of a slow one here, maybe faltering a bit with the pressure. And granted, they have been playing a lot of Call of Duty for a very long time. Maybe fatigue is beginning to play a role here, but that is going to be 2 straight games for the side of Cyclone. Now we're going over to Hasi.
Yeah, going back, and I'm excited to see if now we're going to be seeing some lessons learned. Will they be able to battle, you know, the demons that they've been fighting when it comes to this hard point? Because ultimately, they lost out in the upper bracket when it came to control. This time around, they learned from that. They come out on top, and now the real test is here. Can they find themselves back in advantage? Will they pull ahead, or will we see ASG be the ones to clinch map point? As we kick it off, heading towards the first hill, as we all know, going to be chaotic, but who will be the one to come out on top? Already first blood is going to be drawn towards Cyclone Esports, and there we go, seeing some really good action raining down already. Cyclone Gaming stamping their authority early in this map.
Well, back-to-back trades are happening right now. Still no control for either side. Eventually it's going to be Storm who finds a bit of time there before he gets kicked out of the point, and it is chaos as per usual. P1 is where blood will rain. No one really even looking for those P2 spawns yet, and there's 24 seconds left. Having said that, it does look like Nex trying his best to at least clear out the potential flank, as scrap time will be going the way of ASG.
Alright, and it's looking a whole lot better. ASG trying to put up a bit of a fight here. Finally able to get on. And this time around also having control of that next point. So it's going to be a very tough fight to be able to retake. It's going to be the next hill available soon in the next few seconds, but already held it down. Is going to be knocked. Finds one in the kill feed. Storm equal to 1. Daniello also finds a kill, shuts down Storm. But at this point in time, it is going to be so difficult to hold it because, again, that unison push that we constantly see coming through from ASG coming to fruition. But for now, though, there's going to be a really good fight being put up here by Cyclone, and it's looking a whole lot better from them.
100%. Even though they don't have those close spawns, they are actually getting some effective trading to come on through here. 2 for 3 at the moment. Nark now first to the fray. He has a bit of damage dealt, but Logan staying alive. Simsi poised to pounce from the water's edge like a crocodile, but it has the help. He has the help of Germ, and Simsi again finding a 2-piece, looking for a few more. Unable to finish it. It's going to be Storm answering back, but this is as close as it gets in terms of HP. 11 seconds will be going the way of Cyclone, especially if Daniello sort of seals the deal with that war machine.
Oh, it's looking so much better from them. Daniello, unfortunately, taking himself out, but keeping that hold alive for the side of Cyclone. Cyclone still in the lead, but only ever so slightly. That can mean evaporate in an instant. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us right now, this is the Carry First Africa Cup Southern Africa Regional Grand Finals. 2 teams are going to make it all the way to Nigeria, but they're here for bragging rights. Who will be the one to clinch the land win? And ASG currently on a tear. I want to see who you guys are supporting in the chat right now. If it's ASG, you are going to be happy because right now they are doing exceptionally well on this hill.
Well, they've had a fantastic start to it, like you said, and we get to see some streaks being called in, making sure that the side of Cyclone spawns as far away as possible, continuing to light up the screen with the blue kill feed. But here we go, Logan around the back, equalizer in hand. Is only good for 2 before getting taken down. His teammates fell around him there. Contest is in, but 10 seconds. That was a fantastic hold from the boys in blue as they continue and start to look towards those rotational kills. But set up on next is going to be the side of Cyclone. Huge 2v2 about to come through. But streaks, again, so crucial. This may be enough to kick the door wide open.
Indeed, and right now already ASG going to have a hold on this next hill, but can they survive? Because Cyclone have just been wreaking havoc every single way they point. And right now, they're going to be the ones onto the point. Can they hold this hill? But we're seeing the resurgence here coming through from ASG. They're finding the kills, they're returning fire. Trades left, right, and center in the kill feed. Spotting out the player, takes him down as well. Logan keeping it alive alongside Nandi here for Cyclone. And they're going to get those ticks up as it's looking a whole lot better. ASG though trying to have a retake situation here, trying to find something, and they're going to absolutely clean house.
Off the back of some nice specialist usage there, at least to deal damage. But look at the split spawns. This is where the pinch becomes a bit more of a problem, as the kills are still pretty much 50-50. Logan first to the fray now, finds nothing. Toxic so strong at close range. The SMGs beginning to tear on this P4. Second set of rotations about to come through. On the hill first is going to be the side of ASG, but they have to start locking down those longer lanes, making sure that they can keep their ARs in power positions so that the SMGs can run rampant, and they've done exactly that. Here comes Squid with the equalizer in hand, and off the back of a streak. That is great stuff here for the side of ASG.
ASG is looking a whole lot better now. It seems like Cyclone had a bit of an answer, held them down, but right now running riots through the lobby with that equalizer, properly equaling things out now and showcasing a bit of dominance. Squid absolutely insane with it. Storm finds 2 in the kill feed. Can't really see too much, but as you can see in the kill feed, it is looking blue as ever. But as I say that, returning fire, Cyclone putting up a bit of a fight, says Germ. Going to be finding some kills in the kill feed. Nandi as well, equal to 1, and it is just an absolute bloodbath here on this hill. Who will be the one to claim more control? There's going to be the next hill being revealed, and that will be the side of ASG having an advantage to get there first.
Well, they have now extended their lead to about 70, so they're doing a fine job of keeping their lead inching forwards. And they have rotated first to the next hill, but they have to deal with Danielo's War Machine here, just sort of pre-firing where he can, but the spawns get all weird, and it's going to be a split. Now in the back, a huge one to win. Next can't find a Germ with the claw in hand. Might have done enough here to at least secure the first 10 seconds or so on this point. Having said that, it's going to be next with the War Machine, making it as difficult as possible to continue to hold this kill. But Logan, equalizer in hand. It seems as though whichever team gets the more or gets more specialists is the team that holds the hills for longest.
And I mean, they've been utilizing those specialists to perfection every single time someone has had it in hand. It's paid dividends. Right now, it's seeming like it's paid dividends for ASG. As right now, they'll be the ones closely contesting this hill. And at the moment, it's looking like they're going to be the ones with the man on the point next. Keeping it alive, but then finally gets shut down. But the next hill will be available instantaneously. We're going to be seeing that rotor come through. Only going to be Narc who needs to hold it down here for ASG. He's going to have to absorb a lot of pressure and aggression coming through as already the swing happens, but Narc is up to the task.
But Logan on the other end is at close range. Narc with the claw in hand might be able to find a few. The answer is no. He gets taken down and his teammates are falling around him as well. They were first on the rotation, but they weren't first to the hold, as it is actually a fantastic chain here. But again, Squid with another equalizer, flying at this opposition. And this was the hill where they really began to solidify their lead. And they're looking to do exactly that again, which is so odd because normally this is such a contested hill, but not for long, as every single kill begins to work out here for the side of ASG.
It's looking so much better here for ASG. They're really giving a bit of fight, and yes, they're in the lead, but it seemed like at some point they were starting to lose a grip on this map. But we're starting to see that dominance slowly return back for them. They're finding a few kills in the kill feed, mounting that pressure back onto Cyclone, pushing them back. And at this point in time, they just have to concede and try and go for the next hill.
Which is going to be Rock and P4. If they have a couple of streaks, this is where it gets a bit more. Here we go. I spoke about the Predator Missile, not able to find anything off of the back of it, but that is enough to force the players into cover, and we get to see Toxic with that Sparrow in hand, now the Hunter Killer as well. And just to, for a little bit more salt in the wound, triple or double with the Predator Missile, alleviating that pressure a little bit more, and now the hold on P4 looking great. 200 points about to be eclipsed.
It is looking so good here for ASG. They've really come to the party, not shaken up by that previous map loss. And at this point in time, showcasing dominance. It's been so difficult now for Cyclone to have a grip onto the hill. At this point in time, they're still not giving up, still trying to catch one of the players, spotted out, but still, ASG have just been so difficult to sway every single time they've got onto this hill. And now, time ticking down, getting closer and closer towards the end of this map. All they need is 30 more ticks, but it is far from over, as we've seen time and time again, retakes and also comebacks happening through. But Cyclone, they're going to try and keep it alive as much as possible. The War Machine trying to maybe sway the whole, or rather the push coming through, and it's worked for the moment. And at this point in time, it is looking like Cyclone are down but not out yet.
Well, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but 24 versus the 180 that they need, or 150 now.
I mean, we've seen people come back from someone sitting on over 249, so
yes, but when they are like 200 maybe. Like,
let me be optimistic.
I back it. I back the optimism, but right now they have to start playing some perfect HP, and it starts with them being able to hold this hill. But at the moment, the trade's not going to be there for them. Logan, last alive, he is going to get taken down. And now it is a total of 23 seconds needed. No longer winnable here for the side of ASG on P1, but they can start sending people over towards P2. Having said that, it does look like the boys in gold have managed to find a bit of a resurgence. Like you said, they have to win that back spawn battle. But it does look like they haven't been able to do exactly that. Storm now first to the fray, does have that death machine in hand. A lot of streaks being thrown at this point, making sure that they can keep these players from ASG as far away as possible. They've done a fine job of it as now. They have to break from the front, but there is quite a few EMP now being pulled in and a few specialists to work off of. One break is all they need. 14 seconds. From the water we shall pounce.
And this is going to be the moment that defines it all. Can they hold it down, or will they be swayed? They still have someone on the hill contesting, but as I say that, they're going to get taken down, and finally they have a hold. There's going to be the retake coming through, but it's not enough. And ASG holding strong, and they need only few more points, few more seconds, and counting, and that is certainly going to be the map win for ASG, as they see themselves on map point.
Man, oh man, do we have a series. That game went backwards and forwards. Again, I'm not sure what's up with Cyclone and waking up in the last quarter of the game. If they kept that consistency, the way they broke, the way they held. But again, you could see the panic because they hadn't really put a lot of pressure onto the team at the start of the game. They started throwing everything they had. They had the streaks, they had the specialists that they had to use, but then it sort of, again, became pandemonium, a bit of panic. They couldn't really make the decision as to which side they wanted to attack from. There were some insane plays from everyone, but goodness gracious me, Squid,
53.
the ping-boosted man, apparently, cooking with 53 on LAN at his first LAN.
This is immense. Coming through from a player who's making his debut on stage. That's the question that's always asked of a lot of these pro players, be it Call of Duty Mobile or any other title, is you can do it online, but can you do it on LAN? And right now, it's proving that he can do it.
Absolutely. Now we're going to be going back to Control. That is going to be Control on Raid. Tried, true, and classic game and classic map. Will we see another insane 2-0 comeback from the side of Cyclone, or will Cyclone actually just come out of the gates and show that they can win another respawn in a series, more than one? only time will tell. But right now, confidence has got to be at an all-time high for the side of ASG, as that was another dominant respawn performance. Maybe faltered a bit in the control, but it obviously didn't affect the HP gameplay.
Yeah, most definitely. And if you're in the chat right now, if you're on social media, make sure you're using hashtag #CarryFirstAfricaCup for all of your posts. Make sure you're keeping that trend alive. We want to see as much coming through from this as possible, showcasing the best of the best in the African region. And also right now, I want to be seeing who do you guys believe is going to go all the way? Who do you think is going to take this next map? Is it going to be Cyclone? Is it going to be ASG? We don't know. We'll have to see until we get there. But ultimately, right now, I mean, Trout, it's been so much better coming through from Cyclone, right? Because we've been seeing, exactly, from the first moments, it seemed like ASG had an answer for everything. Yes, they struggled on the S&D, but outside of that, it seemed like they didn't have too much. But now we're seeing something a whole lot more closely contested. We're seeing a team that's bringing so much fight. And now going on to raid, it's going to be control. It's going to be, essentially, I would say, tasked to capture the points, but at this point it just becomes team deathmatch against these guys.
100%. Well, team deathmatch or not, it does look like the side of Cyclone are here to play, as they've already pushed somebody past Laundry, making sure that the spawns are as mixy as possible, but they've left players all alone around B, so they got cleared out, and they didn't even find the first tick. But here comes the shots from Logan from top art, making sure that he has the best masterpiece in terms of the sights through his scope. And a couple more kills will continue to rain on through here for the side of Cyclone. Looking like they're bringing it to the side of ASG in this third game mode? Yes, third game.
Yeah, it's looking a whole lot better from the side of Cyclone. They've already captured B, and I mean, ASG just having to concede. They can't really do too much there. And shots raining down. Finds one, spot out the second, but won't opt to try and reach out that. Having to push back, spots out Storm. Gonna take down Storm as well. And it's looking so much better here from Cyclone as they finding kills left, right, and center. And they are definitely trying to push it to that final map. Right now, so much going on, but it is going to be Cyclone who have the life advantage. 6 to the good at this point in time. And yeah, I mean, if you're the side of ASG, you're not really, looking too happy with what you're witnessing, because Cyclone are running riots everywhere they are.
100%. Logan with that sniper and the long angles. You've got people running at you with SMGs. No map control. The life count continues to bleed. 10 now is the difference. It's just Squid sort of trying to stop the bleeding as best he can. Over towards A we go. Finally a good flurry as 3 players will fall. Looking like Toxic actually wakes up there, and they have stopped the push somewhat slightly. But now a 5v10. We've seen this happen before, but with a minute to work with, they cannot slip up even one time.
I mean, you're walking on thin ice at this point in time. Nothing can be wrong. Everything picture perfect here. They do have 1 life afforded, but still put in that 5v10. Anything and everything can happen there. Logan finds a kill in the kill feed. They're going to spot out a few. The trade is there, but they have 2 advantaged there. Nohawk is tearing through, but is going to get shut down. Put in a 1v6. The shots are not landing, but finally one eventually does. But in a 1v5, it is not looking favorable. Cyclone are looking good. They find the first on control here on raid.
It feels like now we're talking about ASG with a little bit too little too late. I mean, they're having some absolutely brilliant plays, but it feels as though Cyclone have written the script. So we have pre-fires with the War Machine.
I mean, they have lineups at this.
That's crazy. Well, it does look like they will meet fire with fire, as again B is going to be at the beginning of the battleground here, but no one really taking that much power west. Having said that, Nandi in the spawn next with the War Machine pushing up here. 26 to 26. Storm continuing to tear with that SMG in hand. Now looking to find the second tick is going to be the side of ASG.
Yeah, it's looking a lot better here from ASG. A little bit more of a fight coming through. They've really captured 2 ticks onto B. Getting 1 more to close out that ring. Right now, streak in hand. Logan has been disgusting with the Annihilator. Finds 1, finds a second, put it in his hand, and he'll make it work. But it's going to get shut down. And for the moment where it seemed like we're going to equal things out, dies down, but Cyclone turning things on its head, and now all of a sudden they have a 2-life advantage. Spotted out Squid is gonna get shut down by Nandi, and now it is onus on the side of Cyclone to be able to keep this fight alive.
Well, 4 lives between these two teams. Life count advantage is there, but only slightly for the side of Cyclone, but they're getting a couple of these kills on the rotation. The kill feed lighting up yellow. 5 kills between the two now. All the pressure back onto the side of ASG as they are trying to work their way through the B site into the spawn of the boys in gold so that they can start putting pressure onto A. But no real map control being executed, and we get to see TK on himself from good old Nandi there, but again, 3 lives between these two, 1 minute and 7 seconds to work with. All the side of Cyclone has to do now is continue to play around these trades. If they can find a couple more of these kills and continue to deny these power positions, but it's looking pretty good from Squid.
Oh, it's looking beautiful here from Cyclone, but ASG tried to equal things out. Won't spot out the player, just perched down. And at this point in time, it can be anyone's game. 6 lives apiece. And the Annihilator putting in work there for Squid. Finds one. But will he find the one sprawled? It's going to be Simpsy who finds him. And it's going to be a 4 versus 3. Make that a 4 versus 2. And now it is going to be coming down to the wire as Cyclone. Time ticking down. Toxic finds one. It's going to be the last one remaining. Simpsy has been monstrous time and time again for Cyclone, but he needs to do it here, and he can't. The pinch is going to be there, and that is going to be ASG equaling things out here on control.
Man, it is round for round. These guys are feeling locked in. They're not giving a moment's breath either way. At a stage, I thought it could have gone the way of Cyclone there as well, but somebody needs to help Squid, man. He is having an absolute series. Currently leading the lobby with Simpsy, trying his very best to put his team on his back, but over towards B again. It seems like tried, true, and tested. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Let's go to B for the side of Cyclone, as they have already found that first tick.
Yeah, they already also found that life advantage, but it just dissipates in an instant. And Squid and Toxic finding in the kill feed, kills are stringing together, and it's looking a whole lot better. Switchblade is absolutely tearing apart players. Simpsy able to shut him down finally though. But very early on, Cyclone, they're not looking too good in the opening stages. And that is so unfortunate.
This is a devious spawn trap beginning to set up here for the side of ASG. They have an 8 life count advantage, and they have stopped the tick completely, 10 now. And they have just continued to snowball their momentum and continue to push the side of Cyclone further and further back into their own spawn. It is just chaos. I can't even tell who's who in the zoo, as every single person returning to is dying.
Oh my goodness, 20-8. It's just been an absolute slaughterhouse here for ASG. Anywhere they were in this round, they've just been shut down. For now, they're keeping it alive. 8-16. There's still hope, but I mean,
no time.
You can't do it. You just can't. And that has to be another tick, another round afforded here for ASG. And they're on the precipice, they're on the cusp of closing this out. And they are looking and eyeing that LAN win. What poetry it would be for Toxic to close it out against his former team.
Yeah, man, and everyone tuning Squid, that's obviously his first time here. He's really putting a performance. Rookie of the tournament for me, in my opinion.
100%, 100%.
He's the man to make it happen, and here we go. Onto attack is going to be the side of ASG. They've won an attack and they've won a defense. Now they're looking to close it off again with another attack. But they have to contend with a lot of specialists from the side of Cyclone. Daniela, of course, leading the charger with that war machine, shooting every possible movement, making sure that there is no real control over towards B. But here comes that Predator missile, maybe alleviating it. But in the chaos, the first tick, potentially even the second, has been found here for the side of ASG.
Yeah, at this point in time, it just felt like if a pixel twitched, it's getting shot at. And there's been so much chaos very early on. ASG have already got 2 ticks onto B. Just one more to be able to capture. Will they be able to maybe close that out? At this point in time, things slowing down ever so slightly, but then it's going to be instantaneously back into the fray again as chaos ensues. Storm and Toxic finding the kills in the kill feed. It's equaled out, and it's now allowed them to be able to capture Bravo. Only going to be left is A. Can they see themselves out? Will they be able to close it out here, or will we see Cyclone push it even further? But at this point in time, it's looking like ASG are a lot more poised here on this map, and it's looking so much better from them. We're seeing a lot of shots raining down and a lot of control afforded for them.
100%. They're trying to make sure that they're keeping that pressure applied. Squid flying backwards, but it's going to be Daniello holding the line. But Storm with the equalizer in hand now. 16 to 10. It is coming down to the wire. A minute and 23 seconds to work with. Still, every single inch of control, excuse the pun, being fought for here, especially around the spawn side. But they need to start sending a couple of those bodies onto the point so they can start contesting it. At the very least, maybe slow the clock, because it is a minute and 4 seconds to work with. But 12 to 5, things are looking pretty dire here for the side of Cyclone, especially with Nex. Round the back end, we have a panic Predator missile, 10v2, unless we see the greatest Predator missile of all time, 1v9. It is going to be Squid who draws the final blow. It is ASG, your Southern Africa Carry First Cup Finals Grand Champions!
Beautiful stuff coming through from ASG. They have been locked in online from the beginning of this tournament, of this series, ultimately only dropping 3 maps in this entire playoff stage, and they are ever so deserving of that ticket, booking themselves into that grand final, headed to Nigeria, where they'll be competing for a grand total of $30,000. Will they be the ones to lift that crown come the time? We'll have to see. But for now, they are your champions. What a performance. All of them take a bow.
100%. Kudos to the side of ASG. They lost a couple of rounds, they lost a couple of maps, but you could see it means the world to them. And like you said, Toxic, the man, beating your old team with a new roster has always got to feel pretty good, but nothing but love in the end. And a little bit of banter goes a long way, but they both are going back up to Nigeria in September, both representing the region. So maybe it's bad blood for now, but they're going to be co-representing Southern Africa in Nigeria. But again, only one can win, and right now, ultimate bragging rights going the way of ASG.
Yeah, and before we maybe move on, I think I want to call one of the players. I believe I can see Toxic there. Toxic, please, if you can, come through to the caster booth. We want to have a quick interview with you, and we'll be having Toxic coming through to the caster section just to have that post-match interview. But for now, it has just been an absolute beautiful showcase coming through from this team, right? ASG, they had the call that ultimately they feel like they have enough to be able to close this out in 4-0 fashion. We didn't see the 4-0 fashion, but we did see a team that definitely had the confidence to take it all the way.
100%. You can see the respawns is where they reign true. And again, kudos to ASG, and thank you to Carry First for sponsoring such an awesome event, and ACGL for hosting it, and of course AGC for having it here in person. And of course, Scar, it's a pleasure as always. I'm going to take a bow, everybody. I've been Trout. This is Scar. Together we are Scrout, and we are going to be out of here. Well, not we. I'm out of here, and I'll see you soon. So it's cheers, but just for now.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back here on land and I am joined by Toxic. Toxic, I was here last year. I got to witness you lift this crown with your previous team. But this time around, you're on the other side. You've lifted it now with ASG. You're a two-time champion here in the Southern Africa Regional Finals. How does it feel to be able to call yourself a two-time champ?
It feels really great to call myself a two-time champ. I mean, I would have got it with the team that I had there, Cyclone, but of course, due to some things where they didn't trust me and, treat the person bad, so I had to get my revenge in a way.
I mean, your revenge was sweet. Ultimately, you closed it out. Your team dominated from the first point. You mean, yeah, a 3-1 finish into a 4-2. There were signs where it seemed like they might have had a comeback. Was there a point in time where you guys were a bit worried? Because I saw every now and then when we looked at you, guys were laughing.
No, the game ends once it says victory or loss. So we play until we see the end of it.
Yeah.
But we weren't shaking, we weren't shivering, nothing. Don't shake, don't shiver. No shaking, no shivering. We came in with full confidence. I mean, when we versed them before, I think in the tournament that we played, they had a lot of ego coming into this thing.
Yeah.
To say they'll beat us, so we had to show them who is the Pink Warriors.
I mean, at this point in time, there was a bit of, words being said that, you guys only do well online, and now coming in person, you guys won't be able to showcase that same talent. Was that a bit of a proving ground to be like, you know what, we can show that we are better than what you think?
Of course it is. I mean, like I said again, they just versed us online, and from that tournament, they never versed us again. So therefore, we came with our full performance, full confidence, full everything. No matter who we play, we will beat them.
I mean, you proved it here today. Ultimately, you guys essentially undefeated all the way through, only dropping 3 maps, which is insane. But ultimately, the last thing is you guys are obviously now qualified for the grand finals. This time around, I'm assuming you guys want to go all the way.
Of course, we want to win it and of course represent our team in World Champs. So
that is beautiful to see. But Toxic, once again, congratulations to your win. 2-time champion here on land, ladies and gentlemen. That is going to be ASG, the winners of the Carry First Africa Cup Southern Africa Regional Finals. Before we go, the team want to come on. The whole team is here apparently. They all want to pop in. And here are your winners, ladies and gentlemen, ASG. But folks, thank you so much for joining us here on the stream. We still have our East Africa finals that will be happening next week. If you haven't secured your tickets, make sure you do. We will be putting out some stuff on the Call of Duty Mobile Africa page and the Carry First page on where you're able to purchase your land tickets. So make sure you are going to be there. But for now, thank you so much for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure bringing you all the action of the best here in the Southern Africa region. Take care, stay safe, and we'll see you in the next one.